So we're going to answer some questions here. I get a lot of questions about what this is because people don't know what this is. So I'm going to be filling you guys in on that today. So we're letting some people roll in. Sasha's going to be answering some questions. So if you have any questions, drop them down below. If you don't have a question, then you can just drop where you're coming from. Like, yo, what do you represent? What's your country? What's your city or your state if you're from the US? What's your province if you're from like Australia or Canada? You know, what's your region? Grandmaster Regent, right? I love you guys so much. But I've been getting a lot of comments of just love and excitement, people who are excited for the guide and this life and everything else, and they just want to know more about it. So I'm here to answer those questions. As you can see, here's my body results. I have not worked out, and I don't exercise either. I don't do calisthenics or something like that. I haven't worked out in 6 years. 6 years. And I weighed myself today. I weighed 212.7 pounds. I'm just saying, man, this is a great life. This is pretty freaking amazing. I haven't eaten technically, in 267 days or something like that. So it's been wild. It's been pretty crazy. But we had a concern about somebody who, okay, if they get the guide, will they have to completely leave their old lifestyle, their friends, their family, and everything else just to do the guide? That was a concern that a person had because it's extensive. The guide, it hits on every topic point of life, all the way from relationships and friends and outings to even how you use the restroom, how you sleep, how you eat, everything. That's why it's so thick. If you see the guide, it's very thick. It's a thick manual. It's an instruction manual. It's not a book. It's not some sort of fairy tale, fiction, nonfiction, story, novel. It's an instruction manual, a step-by-step instruction manual on how to achieve higher efficiency in one's life, a higher optimal life. So it touches on everything. To reach the life that I'm at, you have to make everything efficient in your life. You have to stop harming yourself. That's the main thing. Is a lot of people don't have the results that they want because they are destroying themselves in the process. I might have to get like conscientious on where I'm going with this, but just hang on and I'll explain all of it. The person wants a different result because they don't like where they are. And it's not that they don't like where they are, it's like they don't like themselves where they are. So because they don't like themselves, they'll do everything to try to get over here, even destroy themselves, hurt themselves, harm themselves. Fasting, starving, working out excessively, taking supplements. I mean, supplements are pretty much experimental compounds. You don't know what it's going to do over the long term, 10, 20 years. It could jack up your liver, all kinds of stuff. But people are willing to do it because they hate themselves so much. So the guide is an instruction manual built on how to truly love yourself. When you truly love yourself, you end up getting the results by default. That's how I got here, is through self-love. That's why I have rows of abs and big muscles and a bunch of energy. My skin's glowing. You know, I'm not aging anymore. Like I've started, reversing in my age. Like, it looks like the damage, because it's not about like, all right, what's the steps I do? It's a state to occupy, which is self-love. If you can't love yourself, you're not going to watch out for yourself. You'll take any supplement. You'll take any dirty compound. You'll take any shot, any sort of pharmaceutical. Okay, well, it's just peptides. Well, that's what they told you. Because you're not looking out for yourself, you're letting another person tell you, oh, well, it's peptides. This is safe. Sure, you don't know the long-term effect of taking these things. This is fairly new on this side of the millennia. You don't know long-term effects. I'm looking not at now when I'm 37. That's why I always say I'm almost 40, because I'm always looking to the future. In my head, I'm already 40. In my head, I'm almost 50. I see myself as a senior citizen nearly, because I'm thinking that far into the future. That's where I'm going. So when I'm 50, when I'm almost 50, how am I going to be? How are my knees? How's my back? How are my hips? But if you don't like yourself, you're only going to see, well, I don't like me now. I can't even look in the mirror at myself. And you'll be willing to do more dangerous things towards yourself. And the guide helps you stop that. Stop hurting yourself. Stop harming yourself. I'm here because I stopped harming myself. That's why my body looks the way it looks. Because I'm not harming myself. I'm helping myself. Don't harm yourself, help yourself. So if you have some questions, drop them down below. We'll get to them. Lovely Sasha on the mic. Sasha, you there?
Hey.
What is up? you can drop them, and then Sasha will be the one to read them. I'm going to close this real quick, and then we can get into our first question.
Whiskey said, "Hi, Mikey."
What's up? Yo, what up, Whiskey?
Togaman0121 from IG says, "How's it going from UK?"
Yo, what up, UK? How you doing, man? Hey, UK. Hey.
Your favorite margarita said, "Man, where have you been? And where are all your wives? LOL."
I mean, look outside. Every woman you see is my wife.
And Shyler says, "What's up?"
Yo, what up,
from
Shyler?
IG.
From IG. Yo, what up? If you guys have a question, drop it down below. You can also drop where you're coming from, where you're tuning in from. We're going to answer a lot of questions today and just disperse the mystery of what this is, how I got here, what's even going on, what should you do, how it's relative to you. My main gathering of energy to direct towards you is to allow you to have the ability to operate in your own executive thoughts and functions, having agency in your own mind. I'm not going to give you a step-by-step. That's what all the people feeding you crumbs do. Okay, you're going to fast for 3 days, and you're going to have a pinch of salt this day, and then on the third day, you're going to do that. No, dude. That's not autonomy. That's not you being able to think for yourself. That's literally them just telling you what to do step by step. That's how you become decrepit. All the people in my school on Discord, all the people who follow the guide, and even the guide itself, even though it's a step-by-step manual, there's no routine in it. I don't tell you, okay, this, you do that, you do this, you do that. There's a sandbox world of what you have access to, and I say go have fun. It's a smorgasbord. It's it's like an a la carte in a sense. That's why people can say, or people ask, hey, can I still be vegan and do the guide? Can I be carnivore and do the guide? Yeah, because the guide's not about food. Like the food is like the last portion of the guide. Food is not that important. It is not. Because if you don't start with the basics, if you don't start with step one, the food, who cares about the food? It's just another fad. You'll drop it anyway. How many diets have you done? How many weight loss challenges have you done? How many times have you lost the weight and gained it? Or if you're on the opposite, how many times have you been small, gained some weight, but then got off track? Because you didn't get the fundamental points down. The guide is the very fundamental of life itself. How you do everything. The food is nothing. The food doesn't even matter. It's the last portion of the guide. How do you sleep? How do you poop? How do you breathe? Everything else before it. Because the food's only a small portion of your day. The rest of your day, you're conscious. What are you doing then? If you can do that right, then your life and your body reflects it, and that's what you become. Cool.
Miss Mixes asks, what does a typical day look like for you? And when you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do to optimize your day? From IG.
From IG. All right, cool. What's up? So what does a typical day look like for me, right? Well, my life has progressively become different throughout the years. So I used to live a normal life in the USA, kicking butt, fulfilling orders and contracts and all this other stuff, like working and whatnot. And then through the progression of the guide, I've been able to expand myself, my mind, and my life to where now I travel constantly. I live abroad, and this is my 31st country, and I've been traveling nonstop for roughly 6 years. The inception point was this guide itself. It's not that you're locked to anything. It's that you're either dampened in your ability of creativity or you're expanded in it. And when you expand your creativity, your life looks more creative. So now my life on a day-to-day basis looks roughly different than the average person, but I am the average person. I'm from the USA. I have, had a neighborhood and a street address and a mailbox and, USPS, I'd get mail and stuff like that. I'm an average dude who expanded in creativity through the process of the guide. Now my day looks like this. I rise in my mind first before I ever step out of bed, and I connect with myself in my bed as I'm still laying there. Before I move any part of my body, I make sure that I interlock with myself so I can agree with myself. Whenever two or more touch and agree, it is so. Well, you are the two or more. You are the one that you need to agree with. So I'll spend all the time I need to agree with myself, however long that needs to be. It could be 10 minutes. It could be an hour. It doesn't matter, because nothing else matters until I agree with myself. Because if you can't agree with yourself on the first point of the day, you'll argue with yourself the rest of the day. And that's just wasted energy. So once I agree with myself, I rise, do all the stuff in the guide, like self-love decree, everything else it says, the check-in and everything else. And then I'll start answering messages. That's pretty much it. And then I kind of stay answering messages and like making content or whatever, hanging out with you guys, or I'll go into, like, I have a national forest behind my house here at the house I'm at currently. And I'll go in there and forest bathe and breathe, and I'll get inspiration and creativity, and I'll come back with more articles to write. Some of those articles we post on our website. Some of those ideas go into the guide. Some of them I just reserve specifically for the Discord community. But like I'll take in energy to create something, and then I'll share it. After that, I'll usually have like power sessions or something like that. Power sessions is like a consulting one-on-one with me. I'll have like either a power session or a podcast interview, and I'll do that like later in the day, usually like around 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. And then once the sun starts going down, I'll start chilling with the family, and then I will hang out with the family for a little bit, like Sasha and Leia, or like whatever girls here. I'll have like different people come at different points in time. Sometimes they'll fly out. I had women fly out from Australia to come visit me, or America. It doesn't really matter, right? Whatever. And then I'll hang out with them for a little bit. And then usually around 8 o'clock, I'll go and meditate at night. So there's like a specific night meditation that I do. And the first meditation gets me locked in with myself. The night meditation broadcasts me out to the world. So I'll do that. And then I'll roughly go to sleep around, it just depends how freshly I just got to a location. But I'll usually go to sleep around like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And that's kind of my full day. But some days we go out, some days we explore, some days we go hiking on mountains, some days we visit temples, some days we visit the city, some days we have like logistical stuff to take care of, like passports, visas. Every single day is different. And because every single day is different, it really stimulates neurogenesis in my mind, because my mind never settles. I can't get into a routine because next month will be a different house. The month after that will be a different country. Then it'll be a new process. I got to hire new like helpers and stuff like that. Like every single day is different. So it's always keeping my brain active. So it never settles. It's when you start to settle that your spine contracts and your body collapses and you get stuck in a routine. That's where you get rigid. That's the people who have their essence taken from them. But if you're constantly being stimulated, everything's different every single day, all the time, then you stay aware and you stay alive. And that's how you keep the vitality in you, is by staying stimulated, not through stimulants like coffee or something like that. I'm not saying don't drink coffee. I actually have some here that I'll drink. I just walked off the camera to grab the bottle, and then I walked back on at the same time. That was cool. But you want to stimulate your mind with new experiences, new things. So like we have this is technically like a 9-layer house, right? So there's 3 layers on top, 2 layers on the bottom, roughly in like 5 layers on the inside, right? Roughly in that. And then you have a couple layers in the backyard. We find different spots to hang out at every single day because each spot has different energy. So we're always stimulating our mind, and we're in like a new place. So that's an average day, but even an average day isn't an average day because every day is different. Now I'm live, So anyway, it's something like that. I hope that makes sense. I'm sure it does. But next question.
So Rither MD said, bro, I've been suffering for most of my life, and the way I view myself, it feels almost impossible to ascend in the mental aspect of things.
Who is this? Winster? Rither? Okay, cool. I get some of the names are hard to pronounce, but you guys have amazing names. Can I be real with you and direct, or do you want me to coddle you? So I'm going to ask him first. Do you want me to coddle you and be like, oh, baby, it's okay? Sip on the nip, it's like, oh, it's okay. Or do you want me to actually be real and direct with you? All right. Let them answer the question.
Oh, his name is Ryan.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so DJ Oz from TT said, they're watching from California. They asked, what time do you normally wake up if you stay up so late?
That's a great question.
And also if you have the physical copy of the guide. Okay,
cool. Yeah, so there is a physical copy of the guide. I'll answer that first. We have a paperback. It's like foldable. And then we have a hardcover, which is like, hard. You can find that on the website, or it's even like tagged in the bio, or even on this thing. So it's theguide.life, theguide.life, or MikeyBreathes.com. Either or, they both work. You can get them there. Boom. But what time do I normally wake up if I go to bed so late? Sometimes I don't go to bed and I'll stay up for 2 or 3 days. It depends on the energy. So like I get a lot of energy from the meditation that I do at night, which is what really electrifies me. Like the meditation I do at night, I'm not going to tell you because you guys are probably like, "Whoa, what do you do? Let me know the meditation." If you haven't consolidated your energy from doing the basic steps in the beginning of the guide, then this meditation will actually drain you. But because I've consolidated my energy and I've conserved it, when I do this meditation at night, I can stay up for 2 or 3 days. And I feel great. I feel really, you probably wouldn't even notice unless I told you. So when I do the meditation at night, it depends on how intense I want to go into it, but I stay up sometimes until 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, sometimes 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I have so much energy, I don't even go to sleep. And if I do go to sleep, it really depends on what I did the day before, how long I sleep. Sometimes like I'll wake up at like 6:30, 7, 7:30, 8. But if I've been putting out, because there's cycles in the guide, and I mention this a lot in the Discord community. So you're going to go through a cycle. So you start doing the guide, and let's say that you drop weight, right? This will be a cycle that we talk about, but there's all kinds of cycles. You first start doing the guide and you just drop a bunch of weight. Like the first week, you drop like 10 pounds. And then for like 2 weeks, you don't drop any weight. You've done everything the same. Everything is like, hey, I'm doing the guide in every single way, but you just plateau. And then for some reason, after 2 weeks, you have another breakthrough. You drop another 10 pounds. And it's just holding on to the cycle. So you go, drop, hold, drop, hold, drop. So there'll be times whenever it's like that with my sleep where it's insane. I have so much energy. So for 3 days, I won't sleep and I'll go to sleep for one night and I'll stay up for another 2 days and then I'll go to sleep. And so these cycles continue like that. On the opposite, there's the opposite side of the cycle. There's times where I will sleep for literally 12 hours or 11 hours. It just depends on the elevation, the country, the people around me. You know, how many partners do I have at the time? What am I doing? How's my energy levels? What has my focus been on? Am I conserving my energy? Am I putting it out? So sometimes I'll sleep for 11 hours a night, and sometimes I'll stay up for 2 to 3 days. That's why I'm saying it really depends. But that's why the routines are so deadly, is because if you were in a routine, you would completely negate the cycle or the phase that your body's going through. But the guide gives you the energy so you can have full acknowledgement of what's even happening so you can flow with it. If I went to sleep, it probably wouldn't be the best thing versus if I stayed up when my body's saying that specific thing. Now, if you have insomnia, I'm not saying to stay up. If you're having trouble sleeping, I'm not saying to do that. You should definitely go to sleep. But I'm saying when you have consolidated your energy, you have captured it, then you understand, you can see the cycle clearly of what you need to do. So it's a wide array of staying all the way from staying up to 3 days every other day. I'll do this for like 2 weeks straight. I'll stay up for 3 days, go to sleep, stay up for 2 days, go to sleep, stay up for another 2 days, go to sleep. So it'll be like that, like a week and a half cycle. And then sometimes I'll go to bed every single night for 11 hours. That's the variety of life. That's the stimulus of life. That's what keeps life fresh. And that's what life wants to do. Like the bamboo. When you plant bamboo, it goes into a shoot and it's just a couple inches. And then I think in its third year, all of a sudden it shoots up. And that's its cycle. So you may experience nothing for a little bit and then bam, all of a sudden there's all this growth from doing seemingly the same things. So if you just stay consistent in the guide, the longer you're staying in it, the more you're occupying that realm, the more your body initiates and installs the next phase. And that's where the expansion comes from. You know, I'm sure that it's the same thing with birthing and pregnancy. That, you know, there's the first contact, the sperm to the egg, but then there's phases in development where the baby grows, you know, exponentially overnight, seemingly, and even growth spurts and puberty and all this other stuff. There's cycles of these things. You have to flow with the cycle. It's not rigid. It's not stiff. That's why I say no routines. No routines. Hey, Mikey, what's your routine? No routines. Hey, what's your split? What's your workout? No working out. No routines. Always stay moving. Like you never see me doing the same thing twice. Why would I do the same thing twice? I already did it. What's the next thing? What's the new thing within yourself? You get what I'm saying? So it's like that. Awesome. Next.
So going back to Ryan said, he answered, he said, whatever you want, bro.
No, it's not whatever I want. It's whatever you want. That's why I asked you the question.
And then I might be saying the name wrong. It could be Kiara or Sarah or Kara from Ireland says, finding it hard to source grass-fed organ meats. What can I do?
That's amazing from Kiara or Kara. So she said from IG. She says it's hard to find grass-fed organ meat. Grass-fed, grass-finished is what you want. Buy an animal and slaughter it yourself. Best thing to do. You can buy a lot of pheasants. You could buy a lot of duck, geese. You could buy sheep, lamb, stuff like that, and just slaughter it yourself. Take it to your local butcher. They'll slaughter it for you. Pack up all the meat. You have 3 months of meat right there. All you need a little bit, like the guide says, you don't need to eat a whole heart in one sitting. People go crazy on this stuff. They'll eat a whole heart. We're going to poop a lot of that stuff out because your body can't absorb that much of the same nutrient. So that one heart, let's say the heart is from a cow, that could probably last you like 6 months. So even though you bought the cow, you have possibly 8 months worth of food right there. That cow may have cost you $1,000, but that $1,000 lasts you 8 months. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit over like $100 a month for some meat and stuff like that. Because you don't need a lot of meat. Even though the guide has a lot of organs in it to, as far as the nutrients and everything else, like the different element columns, like the nutrients, vitamin A through mineral zinc, it's not that you need to eat a lot of it. You just need to make sure that you eat it in general. So the heart that you eat, the amount is like a thumbnail size, like just the size of your thumbnail. Boom, ate my heart for the day. That's it. So you can buy your own animal. You can slaughter it. You can go to the farmer directly. There's a lot of things that you can do to get it. She from Australia? Where's she
Ireland.
From? Ireland? Oh, dude, that's cool. I'm half Scottish, like last name Ferguson, so it's like there's a lineage there. Yeah, there should be sheep everywhere. Just buy a sheep from a farmer and have him slaughter it, or have one of your friends slaughter it, or heck, if I was there, I'd slaughter it for you. I slaughter my own animals. So it's not hard. It's extremely easy. It takes about, if you keep the entrails, it takes a lot longer. I just kind of give those to the animals, like to the dogs or whatever. But to slaughter an animal takes like no longer than 40 minutes. And you have meat for the rest of the year, especially if you have like a team of people working with you, like there's like 2 other people, super easy. So yeah, just buy an animal, maybe like $1,000 or something like that, save up, or maybe you can split it with your friends and you all get a piece of it. That's what I would say. Bam!
Yo. And then Benji Bliss 222 asked, what do you think about reaching similar states as you without consuming animal products?
Okay, Benji Bliss, BB, I love you so much. This is on TT or IG? IG. Okay, we're on IG today. TT people, like, you feel free to ask your questions. Okay, it's all good. Benji Bliss, what's my thoughts on reaching similar states as me? That my heart's a little like, there's a little bit of offense in my heart. So I'm like, oh man, how would you, but without eating animal products, right? This is the main thing here. How do you know what state I'm even reaching, what I'm talking about? I don't even care about the body. This is why I always say, like, I don't care if I grow muscles, if I lose. It's not about that. The state is the harmonic state that gives me unlimited sources of energy. So I have influence over the probability of reality. That's it. It just so happens your best charge that you get is from organs. Hands down, undeniable. Like, dude, like, organs do what plants can't. Plants do what organs can't. Everything has its own energy signature. So why limit yourself? People who want to limit themselves. No, I'm going to fast. No, I'm going to be just plants, just vegan. No, I'm going to be just carnivore. Both of them. They're still limiting themselves. I'm the opposite. I'm the expansionist. You need everything you can get. You need it all. You want to consume everything because each thing has its own energy signature. This potato is different than that potato, which is different than that potato, which is different than that potato. You need all the potatoes. You need all the animals. You need all the stuff because they each have their own energy signature, which is why they look the way they do. They taste the way they do. They smell the way they do. That little differentiation in color or shape is a genetic code inside of it to make it that thing that the next thing that's not it doesn't have. But when you have all these codes inside of you, it's a lot easier to see the code of reality. So that's the state that I'm in. That's why I have these great things that you see around me. Beautiful, lovely, supportive women. You have this whole like red pill, like men versus women thing. Well, all the men are out there fighting women. I'm getting love from the most beautiful women and support from them. I'm like, all right, you guys fight your war. Go ahead. While other people are struggling and not knowing how to, be free financially. I've been here at this level for years now. While other people are having trouble, they have to go work hard to try to get a body. They have to go work out every single day. They have to watch their calories. They have to count their macros. They have to do all this stuff. I just live. I just exist. And then my body looks like this. I look like somebody who's been training every single day nonstop for the past, however long. I haven't worked out in 6 years. But I don't do it for any of those things. I do it because I have enough energetic charge to push the probability of reality to push me into what you see here. The results are just a byproduct, but they're not the main thing. It's not what I focus on. I don't even focus on the results. The results are just confirmation. It's the influence that I want, the influence in reality, not over people, but to the material world. And that's why I do this. You cannot replicate this on something similar. You just have to get the charge, period. And you have to be unbiased to get here. That's what I'm actually doing. I don't care if somebody has more abs than me or bigger muscles or can do one more rep or something. That doesn't matter. The power is in connecting with reality. But if you can't even consume the things around you, you're not truly connecting it because you're actually resisting everything that reality is. Animals don't resist. That lion's not resisting that gazelle. They go ahead and eat it. Horses will eat baby chicks. Sheep will eat birds. Sheep. Herbivores will eat birds. What else? Cows will eat snakes. Deers will eat snakes. Like, the animals don't resist. They understand and they go and they flow. So people are like, well, how can I do that but not do that? How can I do this thing but not eat? It's a bias. It's a preconceived notion that locked you out. Any bias or preference that you have becomes the limitation of your effect. I have no bias. I don't care. I have no preference. I'll eat right now if I need to. I'll sleep right now if I need to. I'll drink blood, or I won't drink blood, or I'll eat plants. When you have no bias, that's when you actually gain the power. And you cannot gain the power if you have a bias. So it's self-defeating to ask, like, well, what were your thoughts on doing this without doing? Then you're not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, how can I be a martial artist without training or going into a fight? Or how can I win the UFC title belt without fighting anybody? It's kind of like that. Like, how can I get the thing without doing the process to get there? It's like, well, all the energy is in the world. You want to consume all the energy. That's the biggest point of the God is the variety of it. I don't think that makes sense to a lot of people. It's okay. We can move on. But if you have any questions about it, feel free to ask. No offense to anybody. Dude, you want to eat just plants? I don't care. You want to eat just animals? I don't care. Because I'm too busy influencing reality and getting everything I want to care about what somebody does or doesn't do. But if you ask me this way, this is the way. Yeah, but Mikey, like, I want to do your way without doing your way. Then you're stuck in delusion and confusion. The way is the way. You get to California if you're in, Florida by going west. You'd leave America if you went east. How do I get to California without going west, but not leaving America? You don't. You just go west. Why are you making it harder on yourself? Yeah, but like, I know I could just drive west on like I-10 or like I-20 or something like that to get to California. I know I could do that, but how do I do it without doing it? Well, why are you trying to make it harder on yourself and put these limitations that block you anyway? It doesn't make any sense. And that's what a lot of people do by being vegan, by being carnivore. A lot of people who have power sessions with me, they start like, because a lot of vegans appeal, they like me. The vegan people like, I actually don't get that many carnivore people. Carnivore people are extremely like blockheaded in their approach to life. So I don't really deal with those people because they think they know it all. Vegans are more arrogant and they're trying to get confirmation like, oh, look, Mikey's strong. So like carnivore people are like it's not a cult, but it's almost like a social group. They want to belong. So they eat just meat and they'll throw it in your face. Like, oh yeah, because they want to have the fulfillment of like, okay, I have purpose. I have significance. While vegans are looking for confirmation from everything. Look, this vegan bodybuilder, he doesn't eat plants. And they're trying to get the world to confirm. I don't care about any of that. Confirm me or not, you can't deny my life, the way I look, who I am. So a lot of vegans will see me. They think I'm vegan because I talk about breathing. Oh, he must be a breatharian or breatharian, whatever it is. No, I drink blood. I slaughter my own animals. When I eat, I just go 200 something days and I haven't eaten. So therefore, they automatically associate me with being a vegan because I haven't eaten in front of them, because they are so desperate to get confirmation for their flag and their field of the vegan camp that they'll just automatically assume. I'm going on a lot of podcasts of vegan people. They thought I was vegan. I'm like, no, bro, I drink blood. I literally have videos on here with me drinking blood. But their bias is what blinds them from even seeing what I'm actually doing or saying. which actually limits them. And that's why they don't have better results. Okay, yeah, your results are good, but you can have better. I don't want good. I want the best. I want the top echelon. I want to continue rising and going higher. And to reach the top, to be the God, you can have no bias. You can have no preference because you must be all things. You must eat the plant. You must eat the animal. You must eat nothing. You must drink nothing. You must drink everything. God is the paradox. Anyway, I hope that makes sense to a lot of you. It may not, but if you need me to go back over it, I can.
Awesome. Wispy on TT asked, any advice for someone who suffers really bad with appetite?
TT, I love you so much. All right, so Wispy. Hey, Wispy. So you suffer really bad from appetite. I want you guys to know that suffering is not real. It is not real. So if you believe in the concept of suffering, it only promotes the experience of it, but it's not actually real because you can easily turn pain into pleasure. Some people are into that stuff, masochists and stuff like that. Suffering is not real. This is a hell paradigm construct that you've made in your mind to believe this. So therefore, that's what you're experiencing, but it's not actually legitimate. Your own suffering is not legitimate. It's not. I'm not delegitimizing you. I'm just saying that you have so much power that you can create suffering out of nothing. The number one thing that people get on the guide, actually two things. One, when you're on the guide, and this is throughout the whole game, this is everybody, they become more conscious. People are like, bro, I'm experiencing more reality just from doing the guide. Like I've never experienced this type of life before. They become more conscious by default. Second thing is they stop being hungry. Like I'm so full. Like they stop experiencing hunger roughly within like the first month. So if you are struggling, it means that your body is dying because it does not have the nutrients that it needs to live. That's why you're hungry. It's a mechanism inside of you to say, hey, we need these things. Here's how I talk to you to tell you that we need stuff. And it's called hunger. So you can go get what we need so we can rebuild ourselves. So if you're experiencing hunger, it means that you're not eating the right things. You're not eating what the guide says. And that's why you experience hunger. You can't be hungry if you have everything. You can't be in debt if you're abundant. You can't be, it's like an oxymoron. Like you can't be this if you're that. You can't be both full and hungry at the same time. That's why some people can fill their stomach with a buffet, but an hour later they're still hungry. They didn't actually eat everything. That's what the guide says. That's why there's columns in the guide. Okay, eat this and this and this and this, and you can eat as much as you want. I don't care. You probably still can't finish your meal, or you're struggling to finish it. But eat one thing from every single column, vitamin A, vitamin blah, 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 and you won't be hungry anymore because you actually have everything now. Your hunger will completely cease. So easy. I used to be like that too. So I was overweight a lot of my life. Most of my life, I was overweight. As an 11-year-old kid, I weighed 175 pounds. As an 11, I wasn't even a teenager. I was a preteen. I was 11, right? I was in like 5th grade. Weighed 175 pounds. That's more than some of you. As a kid, okay, I was big, and I've been big most of my life because I was always hungry. There's a chain, there's a sequence, right? So like, oh, he's hungry, he's big, but he's also hungry. If I'm bigger, wouldn't I be more full because I've eaten more and I have more to go for my reserves? No, it's actually the opposite. I'm actually really, really hungry. That's why I'm eating so much. But I don't know what to eat, so therefore, it's not satisfying. But then at the age of like 31, I figured out the guide and everything else, and now I'm eating the guide. Now I'm at the point where I haven't been hungry in 200 something days. I used to be constantly hungry, eating 5-6 times a day. Now I haven't eaten in 200 something days. I'm still not hungry. I'll just drink some of this or the liquids or everything else I told you guys before, and I'm like, I'm good to go, man. So it's the guide. It's because that signal is telling you you're missing components in your body, and that's the communication from your body to you to say, hey, look, we need something. We're missing a piece. So you can regenerate your eye or your ear or your skin, your heart or whatever. Every hunger signal is a relay to you. It's a signal saying, hey, you're missing something. Alert, alert, alert. We don't have the component to build our heart or our liver or our lungs or our skin. Alert, alert. That's what hunger is. But you ignore it long enough, then you start developing psoriasis or like kidney issues or this or that, or your teeth are stained, they're yellow. My teeth are extremely white. And I drink coffee. This is espresso. I drink espresso, like pure espresso. This is like double shot espresso every single day. Your teeth will get yellow the more malnourished you are. So your teeth being white by default. I don't clean my teeth. I don't do some sort of whitening program dependent upon the minerals that you have in your body. So if you notice yellow teeth, most likely you're malnourished. If you notice hunger, like a lot of hunger signals, you're missing components in your body for regeneration. That's going to break your body down. You're going to age a lot faster. That's why fasting's stupid. That's why fasting's so dumb. Because that hunger signal is literally trying to tell you to eat more. But people are like, no, let me resist. That's why they end up looking aged, like stay in it for 2, 3, 4 years. You're going to start having like saggy skin. You're going to have like a little line there, a little this. I've only gotten younger and better and like, more vibrant, more elastic skin and everything else. Yeah, the fasting might help for like the first month or 2 or even the first year, but the people who stay in it, their hair starts getting gray, their skin starts to sag. You can just see it. I mean, it's so obvious. You get like the lines in the eyes. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys some obvious things to look out for people out there. Now, I'm not against influencers. Like, do the hustle, whatever you guys want to do, right? All you influencers out there, I don't care. I'm not an influencer. I don't care to be an influencer. I've never in my life cared to be an influencer. Even whenever I was in high school, I was one of the most like popular kids. I didn't want kids to follow me and do the same thing as I'm doing. I'm like, hey, go be original yourself. Like, don't even copy me. Like, I'm not offended that you're copying my style. I just want you to be original and live your own life. So I'd even push people away. I've never wanted to influence people. I do not care. I don't care what you do. Okay? Let's go on a record. I don't care if you fast. I don't care if you're vegan. I don't care if you're carnivore. I don't care if you like men. I don't care if you like women. I don't care if you're from this country or that country or this. I don't care if you're Republican. I don't care if you're Democrat. I don't care. Because any offense or care that I would have in that type of manner would actually block me from the higher life myself. So be free. Live and let live. Do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I've just found that there's a higher way. I'm living that, and that's why you guys are here, because you can see it. It's freaking obvious. Okay? So these influencers, the things to look out for are dark circles under the eyes. Do they have dark circles? Is their skin worn and withered? Without a filter, right? There's no filter on my face. There's no filter, okay? Try to get as close as I can. There you go. No filter, okay? Boom. I'm nearly 40. This is me, nearly 40, right? No filter on the teeth, right? There's no filter. Do they have dark circles around their eyes? That's huge things. Is their face? It's mainly the face. The body can be super. You ever see those dudes who are like 50? They got like a super ripped body, but man, their face looks like a flat tire. No hate on the people. I'm not hating on the people. It's just like, call a duck, okay? They're like the same age as me or a little bit older, and it's like somebody let all the air out of the tires. Like, the face is what gives it away. How bright are their eyes? How white are their teeth? Do they have dark circles around their eyes? Do they have a lot of fold in their face, a lot of wrinkling, a lot of sagging? Because you can fool people with the body. You can have a tight body, a lean body. It's like, yeah. But the moment you reveal that face, because the face is where the executive functions are. Hearing, thoughts and things like that, but also your senses, hearing, tasting, smelling, like everything's here. So it all conglomerates here in this area. So the more stressed the face is, the less efficiency they're actually living, even if the body shows abs. This is the fool. This is how you fool people. You can fool people with the body. You can't fool them with the face. You can't fool them with dark circles unless they wear makeup. But why would they need makeup? Unless they're trying to hide something. If you're alive, you don't need makeup. You only need makeup if you're dead. You put makeup on a dead cadaver. Oh, here's the viewing, here's the showing, here's the body. They got to put makeup on it because it's dead. Dead things need makeup. You should be alive. You should be so alive that your face is radiant that makeup would actually dull in your face. Whew. So those are the things that when you're seeing influencers, look under their eyes, around their eyes, the wrinkles and everything else, and you'll start to notice, like, dude, yeah, and they can even have good hair. They can even have like long, like fruitarians or whatever. Everybody just wants a title to live under, right? They want to be something. I'm vegan. I'm carnivore. I'm breatharian. I'm fruitarian. Me, I'm nothing. I'm no thing. I'm just living. I have no name. I have no thing. There's no title. I don't care. People come in my inbox every single day. And I'm like, all right, Mikey, like breatharians. I'm like, I don't care. Fruitarians, like, I don't care. I don't care. Because the moment you assimilate yourself under a banner, you have locked yourself to every other possible outcome that could be in reality. I'm a free agent. I'm under no banner. I play for no team. I just am. This moment I might drink coffee. That moment I might drink blood. This moment I might eat. This week I might not eat. I'm just here. I'm conscious. If there was any banner I'd be under, it'd be consciousness. That's it. So, with all that being stated, you really want to make sure that you look at a person's face. No filter. If they have a filter, drops their trust by like 40, 50%. Like, why would you need a filter? Like, that drops trust by 40, 50%. Then they have bags under their eyes, oof, swelling under their eyes, puffiness, dark circles, oof. Yellow teeth, wrinkles, flat tire face. You know who I'm talking about. There's those people out there. Maybe they're a little bit older, and that's fine. Alcohol really does it to a person, but their face looks like a flat tire. It shows that they are deteriorating at a rapid rate. Their face can't even stay stretchy. One of my previous lovers called me a muscle baby because I have all these muscles, but my face looks like a baby. They're like, you look like they would laugh at me, but I'm like, dude, you got with me. Like, I'm obviously your choice. But she say like I'm muscle baby because I have all these muscles, but my face looks like a child, like a baby. And I don't have a baby face. I developed the baby face the past 2-3 years living the guide because my face was the flat tire face. I'll show you real quick and then I'll move to the next question. Here we go.
Danny said, God, you make so much sense.
Oh, heck yeah.
Starlight Soda says, even healthier up close.
I know, I look even healthier up close, right?
Mila said, gorgeous.
I love you so much.
And Benji said, love you, bro. Thank you.
Benji, I love you, dude. Benji blessy Benji. BB. I love you forever, man. But I'm going to show you guys. I was the flat tire face. This is why I can talk about this. I was the fat guy. I was a flat tire face. I was balding, but my hair grew back. I have hair. I did not have, and I have photos, and I show you guys. Like, I was bald here at the cul-de-sac. My hair grew back. I'm older, and I have more hair now. Yeah, but let me drop my voice for authority. I'm older. and I have more hair now than when I was in my 20s. I was balding in my 20s, and now I'm almost 40, and my hair is filled in. I have more hair at my near 40s than I did in my 20s, my late 20s. That's why all this stuff is backwards. Working out, supplements, fasting is like, it's just a condition for trying to treat a symptom versus understanding why are you dying. I call it the life guide because it's the guide to life. When you're living, your hair grows back. When you're living, your eyes are white. When you're living, your teeth are white. When you're living, your body's defined. I'm not saying you have to have giant muscles, but I'm just saying, like, you look alive, okay? No one can argue that. I'm going to close this door real quick. Ray, I love you. You're amazing. My mic is clipping. It might be the dual signals. This one is, what are you, bro? 85. I'm pretty sure the battery life is okay. I think it's because like there's two signals so close together. It'd be cool if I could run it through one mic. Like both of them. Well, I guess that's the next thing to find out, right? Are you guys having fun? Thanks for having fun with me. This is 89. 89, what a great number. 89. Do you guys know what 89 means? Plus, I talk so fast, like sometimes like the mic clips and, you know, one thing that people can't deny is like I have a lot of energy. Like you cannot deny it, dude. Like I don't want to touch this devil device. Get this RF signal thing off my fingertips. I don't want to develop warts or calluses.
By the way, there's a bunch of questions, so like.
All right, I'm going to show them my flat tire face because I have the right to say everything I'm saying because I was the king of that. I'll never speak on anything that I'm unaware of, not sure. If I don't know, I'll just say, I don't know. But I've spent so much time observing life that I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is pretty obvious. All right, so let me see here. Go past the hentai. All right, get this out. I'm playing. It's a joke. It's a joke. The hentai's further down. All right, anyway. If this isn't the most Caucasian smile you've ever seen, then I wouldn't know what to say. This is me at like 7 or something like that, or 6. Somewhere in there. Little Mikey. My ears were big, bro. You know, big ears. That's no lips. All grin, no lips. Look at that. I had no lips back then. God dog. Yeah. Dude, if you can't joke with yourself, man, like you're taking life too serious. Life is so good. That's why when people want to argue about no vegan this, I'm like, I don't care, dude. I don't have the time in the day to argue with you. I have two beautiful women in my bed, dude. Like I got better things to do. All right, where are we at? Okay, this is one of them. This is one of the flat tire faces here. Flat tire, Mikey. The camera's there, so boom, you can kind of see it. And then here for you guys, so you can see like the drain under the eyes. That was super drained. Seeing a picture on a phone through a camera of another phone may not be the best quality, but you guys can check this out on my Facebook, so you can go there and check it out. Roughly, here's me at 19. This is me as a 19-year-old. My girlfriend took this photo with her DSLR because she was into photography, because that's what girls did back in the day. They would go to the Art Institute and pay $80,000 to learn how to use a camera for pictures. And I'm like, all right, girlfriend. She obviously had a lot of money. Her family was from wealth. Mine was not. Or at least had wealth. This is me at 19. Nearly 40. If that doesn't confirm, yeah, but show me the studies. Bro, look at the freaking picture. You have photo evidence. If that doesn't confirm a lot of stuff, I'm like, bro, I don't look too far from my 19-year-old self. So what I'm saying is I was pretty masculine even back then. I'm not claiming to be like, oh, I always look young. I think I look younger, more baby face now than I did back then. I had like super solid cheekbones, very masculine, like predominant features, stuff like that. But I think I have more of a baby face now at nearly 40. You want to stop aging? Dude, get the guide. Like, if that's not evidence this works, I'm like, dude, like that's undeniable. But the photo I'm actually talking about, I'm totally going to make a comparison photo on that. That is beautiful, man. I'm seeing some of these photos for the first time myself. Like for the first time in a long time. I'm like, oh yeah, I used to look like that. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, fair. Life is so good, man. All right, here it goes. I'm not saying I look bad or anything like that, but this is also me back in the day. This is me at 28, 29, something like that. I don't know, man. You can see like face is bloated and freaking face looks like it's flattening, to say the least. All right, and that was just me like nearly 10 years later. I'm like, come on, bro. Like,
Mila said you look 19 again now.
let's go, Mila. Man, I get those cheekbones out, right? Let me just max real quick. This is so silly. You shouldn't have to do anything for a result, guys. That's the coolest thing about the guide is like you don't have to do anything for the results. When you just inhabit the state, all this stuff comes back by itself. There's no skincare routine. There's no like physical workout. Like this is just what's automatically inside of you, and the guide just is the manual on how to release it from you. And I can save all this energy, which is why I have so much freaking energy. Is because I don't do anything all day. I just chill. And of course, it's going to make you more creative, so you can make generate more wealth and stuff like that. You can do with the energy whatever you want. Me, I just do this. But if you want to go into more wealth in your life, whatever, you have the energy now. At least you have the energy. That's the main thing. You shouldn't be tired. All right, questions. What we got?
So Justin from IG says, I bought the guide and got stuck on the remove all toxins from your life. My partner and mother-in-law especially can't let go of that stuff.
Justin, I love you so much. Hey, at least you're trying. That's the main thing. Now, there is a lot of stuff in the guide that you're not, like the guide itself takes you roughly a year or more to accomplish. This isn't like, oh, I have the guide. All right, today. A lot of people come in doing that. That's how you burn out, bro. You're fighting a war, you're waging a war, but in the guide, you live in such a way that's so undeniable that people can't deny it anymore. So whatever your results are now, in a month from living the guide, even if you have those toxins still around you, you're going to transform. You're going to look different. You're going to emit a different type of energy. That energy, woo, here we go. The energy that you emit is the authority that people revere. So whenever you live in this undeniability, these people can't deny it. That provokes and invokes respect within them towards you. They'll just follow you anyway. But they're probably hesitant because they don't think they can trust you. They trust the product, the toxin, more than you. And it's not bad. Let them. Because this shows you the rate of influence that you have in their life, at least through respect of what you're saying to be true. I don't ever try to convince people. I'll let my life become so undeniable that people say, hey, look, man, I've been following you. Like, I can't deny what you're saying is true. That's the easiest person to join along the journey with you. But if you have to convince them and force them and make them and pull them, you're wasting your energy, bro. It's a struggle. Like, you don't want that anyway. That's a waste of energy. That energy needs to go to your mental cognition. So even though they keep some of the products, all right, cool for them. You do your best. There's also how to prepare your room. There's also vitamin A through mineral zinc. There's also self-love decree. So like, even if you don't remove all the toxins today, it's a steady progression. Incremental intervals of progression. Remember, incremental intervals of progression. You're not going to do it all. I didn't remove all the toxins the first day on the guide. It takes time, you know? You may have carpet versus hardwood floors. You know, you may have polyester curtains. Like, so there's some things that are hard, but you don't have to put on deodorant. You don't have to put toothpaste in your mouth. You don't have to put lotion on your. So there's some immediate things that you can get rid of, and it's a progression. That's the beauty of life. If you did it all today, you wouldn't play the game. You don't buy a game and then play it, and the moment you put it in, okay, it's finished. No, you put the game in or download the game, and the moment you press start, you start the journey. And that's the fun of the game, is leveling up and doing all the stuff. So see it as like, dude, it's going to take you a year or more to do the guide. And however much, this is on IG or TT?
IG.
And however much they follow you or see you is how much they actually respect you. And that's okay if they don't respect you. It's not bad if your girlfriend or your wife or your whoever doesn't respect you. Once you now know this, because that's your evidence that you rise and you become so respectable that they say, okay, hey, look, I value your opinion. What do you have to say? Because a lot of people ask me, Mikey, how do you have so many women around you? I don't pay them. I've been with Sasha for nearly 15 years. I do not pay Sasha. Okay, we've been together. We're together, okay? Lay, same thing. Our 6-year anniversary just passed. I do not pay her. If anything, they've gotten me gifts. They've been so good and gracious to me. I love you so much. Thank you, ladies. They're with me because I'm respectable. I tell them the truth. I'm upfront. I'm honest. And they had seen that, so they know when I say something, I'm not just blowing smoke. It usually has weight to it. I don't have to convince Sasha. I don't have to convince Lay. I don't have to convince any other girl. Maybe in the beginning they'll test me, because most guys are willing to lie or just say something just to say it with no gravity to it or weight. But these women have seen me like, oh yeah, this guy stands on business. He's real about what he's saying. There's now no question. If anything, they're like, okay, cool. How do we move to the next level? Bam, they're ready for it. So that's showing you the level of respectability that you have with the people around you at the rate that you actually trust yourself. And that's something counseling can't give you. What I just said, man, that's priceless. Anyway, next.
Well, I also wanted to add to that we had a member in our Discord who he lived the lifestyle of the guide, but his wife and kids did not.
Oh, yes.
And then after 6 months of just straight living on the guide, he let his wife be the example and his wife was like, okay, I see the results. Whatever you're doing, I'm going to do it now too.
And his kids as well. So he had kids and a wife. They're like, because that's how usually people are, right? They're divided. Somebody wants this way, but they want that way. Most families are inharmonious. They live in disharmony. Most families do. Everybody, they're not aligned on the same goal, the same mission. They're not heading in the same direction. That's why there's so much pull, and because they don't even spend time, true time together. They might spend time watching content together, like TV or something like that, or a movie, but they're not actually coming together. Okay, what's our plan? What are we doing? Where are we going? Why are we here? Why are we even together? Why us? So a lot of people, when they get the guide, they're coming from that type of family, like, oh, Mikey's great. Let me get this. And then that husband or that wife may not respect them to that degree. They'll respect them enough to be with them and trust them or something like that. But to a degree, if they're not willing to follow you on that, they don't trust you in some area. And that's totally fine, because now they're revealing the blind spots to you. So you can fill them in with honor, confidence, and show them, hey, I'm serious about this. I'm diligent about this, right? Because maybe before the guide, they never voiced their lack of trust. They probably still would never say that they don't trust you, but the actions tell more than words. I don't trust people from what they say. I'm looking at their action. Okay, if they're not following me, somewhere in here, there's lack of trust. Let me do a little puzzle on TikTok here. Boom, cool, awesome. So if they're not following you somewhere, if there's any hesitancy or anything like that, there's lack of trust, lack of attraction, lack of a bond, lack of a charge. Well, this person here lived the guide for 6 months. They lost roughly 30 pounds or more. And they started glowing and radiating, and they looked so much better and had so much more energy that everyone in the family was like, holy crap, dad really glowed up. And he's like 45 or something like that. So for all of his life, he has all these kids. They're not really following him or anything else. Then he does the guide. They're like, oh, whatever. Go ahead and do your thing. Eat your organs. Eat your cow heart. Do your thing. Okay, whatever. And then in 6 months, he's shredded up. He looks great. He has more confidence. And he's more respectable visually. Now they're keen to hear what he has to say. And now his whole family's on it. His wife is better. His kids are better. Everyone's better. But he was the example first. So just be the example. Don't try to get them on it. Prove it to yourself. Can you even follow the guide in a situation that's not perfectly set up? Can you live the guide even when the people around you still use toxins? If you can't, that shows that you don't even trust yourself, or you don't have the stamina or the endurance. Why would they hop on something that you can't even complete? They shouldn't trust you at that point. I don't expect people to trust me. I don't expect my ladies to trust me. I prove it myself first, and I lead by example. I lead the way. And that keeps a lot of bitterness out of my own heart, because if I can't even prove it to myself, why am I trying to get other people to do it? Yeah, but you need to believe me, Sasha. Sasha, you need to believe me. Come on, we're on this path. Why won't she follow me? Because you don't even trust yourself. It is what it is. She wouldn't follow me if I don't trust myself, and if she did, it'd be dangerous for her. I wouldn't expect her to follow me. If I was a little bitch, I would not want her to follow me, because I'd lead us into danger. But instead, I stand on my own business. I prove it to myself. And now she follows me just because she's seen the results. And I don't have to convince her. Never have to say a word. I just am. You want to come to the place where you're undeniable. Like, obviously, I just showed you a picture of my 19-year-old self. There's no face filter here. That's undeniable, man. Become undeniable. And that's what the guide is. It is the highest way of life. It's not a freaking fast. It's not a diet. It's truly embodying the fullness of life. And when you are life, you cannot be denied. You might be denied a bank loan, but you won't be denied that you live. But even then, you can get the money and all the other stuff. Anyway, go ahead. Next.
So on TT.
Wait. Does that help? Hope it does. Bless you.
Blackberry asked, is it possible to fix hyperpigmentation?
Yes, of course. Yes, the hyperpigmentation. On TT, Blackberry asked, is it possible to fix hyperpigmentation? Yes, the hyperpigmentation is the indicator that something's wrong. You have a bacteria imbalance in your life. You have some sort of degradation in your skin to where it's not being able to regenerate. The hyperpigmentation is trying to tell you there's something to fix. It's not the problem. It's the indicator. I sound so country when I say that. God, dog, it's not the problem. It's the indicator. Let me tell you that. I'm from Texas. Yeehaw. So loved. I love you guys so much. I had hyperpigmentation. I'm going to show you a photo of it here. I got to find it. You probably use soaps. You probably use lotions. You probably intake some sort of like health food that's already pre-made. I have so many before and afters of myself and many others. All right, where is it? Excuse me, guys.
That Texan coming out.
Yeah, Texas coming out of me. That's right. 16-ounce sirloin. I can't say 1 pound. I got to say 16 ounces. That's the Texan way. We got to measure it by the ounce, even though the ounces accumulate to a pound. I'm going to tell you in pound. I'm going to tell you in OZs, okay? That's Texas. Love my state, man. State of mind. All right, so there is a photo that I have posted of me with hyperpigmentation, but I think it got deleted somewhere. Sasha, I'll actually give you the phone and you can look it up for me.
I can find it.
It's the one in Tiburon with my hair and the skin pigmentation on my head.
Tiburon, got it.
Tiburon.
And then also I just want to say, if you guys have any questions, you can totally leave it in the comments. We'll get to it. We're on both.
I'm on TT, TikTok, and I'm on IG, and there's audiences both. So, and guess what? If I don't answer your questions, just keep asking it. If you're not even persistent enough to have your own question, to ask your own question, you don't deserve to have it answered. Where's your commitment? Where's your consistency? If you're not instantly fed, if you're not instantly given a dopamine release, you give up, good. You know what I'm saying? Survival of the fittest, right? X yourself out. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been on this guide, on the journey with the guide for over 5 years. I didn't give up the first day, the first moment, the first day. Like, all you are is what you're committed to. That's it. At the end of the day, everything you reflect, all your results, your success, your wealth, your health, and everything, your relationships, are simply a reflection of your commitment. If you're not even committed to your own question, then why should I be? That's a life lesson there. God bless you. I will answer your questions in time, and if I don't answer it now, just keep asking it, because there's a bunch of people here where I'm trying to answer my best, but some of these things are multi-factorial, so I got to answer in different dimensions to make sure I hit the points of it. But also, if you actually listen, I most likely answered your question in somebody else's question. Yeah, I don't see Tiburon here. Innocently goes to, man, I don't know if you could be able to see this. Maybe not. I'm going to try to show you guys, but if you can see, there's the pink all around my scalp here with my hairline. I had hyperpigmentation. I don't know if you guys can see it, maybe like this way. Yeah, there we go. I had a hyperpigmentation all around. My whole scalp was pink. Super. It's almost like my skin was burned, like it was a burn victim. But that was not even the worst. Here you go. Oh, I probably found it on Samsung. But I had super hyper skin pigmentation. The skin pigmentation was the indicator that there was something to fix. So you can easily fix it. It's so easy. You can fix as long as you're not amputated in some sort of manner, most likely it can be reversed. With the guy, we reversed PCOS, diabetes, diverticulitis, Crohn's, Tourette's, chronic migraines, body odor, hemorrhoids, cyst, psoriasis, more things that have fingers to count. Reversed. Without focus, we never focused on the problem. The problem is just the indicator. Okay, well, how do I fix diabetes? Okay, let me go in and lower my blood. No. We saw that that's just an indicator that there's a greater issue. We focus on the greater thing, and then by default, it just vanishes. They stop having diabetes. They stop having psoriasis. They stop having irregular periods. They stop having PCOS. Like it just dissolves. The cyst dissolves. Cyst on the body, things like that. Because you got to focus on the main thing. That's what I always focus on. That's how you have the best. That's how I've been able to have so much success so fast. Is I just get to the root of the issue. Okay, what do I need to do? Quit distracting me all this side quest. What's the main thing? And I focus on that. I just sink my teeth into it. All right, next question. What we got, Sasha? Oh, here it is. The beautiful, lovely, wonderful Sasha found the photo that I was talking about. Thank you so much, pretty girl.
Yeah, of
Everybody
course.
say, thank you, Sasha, for finding the photo for skin pigmentation.
I love you, Mike.
I don't hear you guys say it. Thank this beautiful girl, man. She's so awesome. Isn't she helping? She's reading your comments and everything else. Thank you, Sasha. Yeah, I'll say it with you. Thanks, Sasha.
I love you.
I love you too. So here's my scalp. You see that, dude? It was bad. I'm talking about it was bad. When I told you guys I was bald, I didn't have any. I'm telling you, it was worse than this. I was more bald than this. Super skin pigmentation. Super. I mean, it was like burnt. It was crazy. Now none. You don't see anything. And the hair grew back. Say what? This is 31, I think. I'm 31 here. Now I'm 37. 6 years ago. Yeah. Something like that. 32. I think I'm like 32. But yeah, look at that. That's straight up scalp. No hair. You can see the pores and everything. There is no hair there. My hair was gone. It was black. I had some hair here in the back, but like I would just comb it over in the front. Now I actually have hair. And people are like, you're bald. I'm like, no, my hair actually grew back. I was bald. Now I'm not. Now I just shave my head. I want short hair. I don't want hair anymore because it was the chemical, all the stuff, right? I don't want to put chemicals on my head and all this other stuff. But yeah, I had skin pigmentation bad. And all over my body too. There's one more that I'll show the people for skin pigmentation on this phone here because I know where it's at. But yeah, the guy totally reverses. All that stuff gets reversed because all it is dying. When you stop dying, you start living. Your hair grows back. Your eyes get wider. everything is an inflection that you're dying or living. Everything. So if you can just acknowledge it, you can stop doing the actions that are killing you and just start doing the things that alive you, that make you live. It's so easy. It is sure freaking easy, bro. Oi, bro.
Do you want me to go ahead and start the next part?
Yeah. No, give me like 1 second, please. Give me 1 second.
I love all the activity, by the way, in the comments.
You want to start? You can read. You can talk to them and see what's up.
They're all like talking to each other as well and helping each other out, which is I think is amazing. And then all the thank you, Sashas. I love you guys. They're so sweet.
Sasha's so sweet. I love Sasha. I've been with her for nearly 15 years. This summer will be 15 years because she's just that amazing of a person. I'm like, nah, girl, like you're coming with me. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get out of this rat race. Let's live. Let's live together. Let's do this. Actually, speaking of, here's Sasha and I when we got our marriage license and stuff. Whatever you call it. Marriage license and official documents of the courthouse. There's both of us.
Oh my gosh.
Look at little Sasha. Look around, girl. God dang.
I probably weighed 30 pounds heavier than I do now.
30 pounds. 30 dirty. Dirty 30 pounds. All right, man. Where is that photo at? Tumber. It's up my back. That I think Anna took it.
So as you're looking for it, I'm gonna answer some questions that I can answer.
Oh heck yeah!
Like, are you in Nepal? Yes, we are in Nepal. That's so awesome that you figured that out. And then, what's your ethnic origin / family roots before Texas? Well, he's half Scottish and half Nigerian, and I guess it would be like Louisianan
and Cajun Creole.
Cajun Creole.
Creole dog. Creole dog. All right, cool. I found it. So this is my back. Baby got back. So here's a skin pigmentation on the left side. It would be for me. And then the right side is my back now. So this is my back now. This is my back then. Back then. Okay, I'm going to just zoom this in. That might help actually. So you can see the heavy skin pigmentation now, or back then, and I can see it now. It's like a freaking horse mane or fur, or whatever you'd call it. Look at all the skin pigmentation. Look at all the spots, the webbing, and like how like distorted my skin look. It's all speckled and stuff. Now it's evenly toned. It's my back. Now, and I'll show you guys as well. Do the same thing. I'll zoom in. So this is my back before. You can see all the skin pigmentation, the discolorment, and everything else, the webbing. This is my back now. So back then, back now. And it definitely got a lot leaner too. It looks like a serpent back or some sort of dragon. My back looks insane. And I did not work out between these two. By here, I had already gotten injured and I stopped working out. And this is like roughly 6 years later without working out. Right? So when I stopped working out, and then now I haven't worked out since, then man, it looks like a freaking serpent back. It looks crazy. You're draconian looking. All right, cool. Cool. All right, next.
So we have a bunch of questions about depression. So Ibaka Abdul asked, Mikey, have you experienced bouts of depression? And then 144,000, is depression real if you wake up sad or vegan propaganda? And then
sad or vegan propaganda?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Could you expound on that a little bit more? Sad or vegan propaganda? So like, I wake up vegan propaganda. Like, what do you wake up sad or vegan propaganda? Okay, cool. And cool. They'll explain. And next, and continue.
And then they're pretty much saying, I wonder if it's real. I think it is. It is too. Other mental illnesses seem more or less random and nothing to do to fix it for depression. Depression is always there though, but can just not alone and rethink your decision.
Cool, I got it. Yeah. So have I ever been sad? Yes. I was touched by a 17-year-old girl whenever I was 6. Okay. So I can't really say words of what fully happened, but let's say older girl touched me. My parents divorced at 4. I saw my dad smother my mom with like pillows and stuff like that. Couch cushion. It's hard to say because it's like a very traumatic event, right? Couch cushions. Uh, I was almost drowned by my grandma's boyfriend. Who was an alcoholic. He held my head down in the backyard swimming pool. And I almost drowned. Like it was scary. I came out crying. Like I was wet from the pool, but like it was tears running down my eyes. I was scared. Went to go live with my stepdad, but he had to go work. So when I come home from school at like, it was like first grade, I'd come home from school, he'd already be gone, and he wouldn't get back home until like 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. So when I get home from school, all day I'd just be by myself. So I spent a lot of time alone, which triggered loneliness and depression and all the other stuff. So have I experienced depression? Of course. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But a lot of it, separate from being conditional, right, is the approach to it. Now I can see, man, I have so much free time. Man, I survived the old man. Like this guy's like 60 plus years old, and I'm like 7, and I survived the old man drowning. So like it's the way that you frame it now. But a lot of depression that seems to be an onset triggering that you have no control or volition over is usually a chemical imbalance. Okay, the sun realigns your chemistry in you. There is a reactive effect when you get into the sun. All right. So whenever you have these bouts, most likely you're not eating vitamin A through mineral zinc. You're not in the sun. You're not grounding. You're not outside. You're not in nature. You're in a concrete jungle. You're in air conditioning with perfumes and scents. All that stuff is destroying your chemistry. So whenever you finally go outside, get in the sun, ground, eat A through zinc, and do all the stuff, like depression, like what's that? You don't have time because you're so elated with so much joy that it's absent. The depression is the indicator, just like the psoriasis is the indicator, or the skin pigmentation is the indicator. All this stuff is indicating whether you're going towards life or you're dying. So whenever you have depression, it's a sign that you've been living in a bubble of death for so long. You have to put yourself in the bubble of life by realigning your chemistry, by actually going towards life itself. The depression is just the company in the bubble. So when you walk in the room, you see depression, like, oh, I'm in the wrong place. Here, let me go over here. Hey, joy, happiness, bliss, love, abundance. Oh, okay, cool. I'm in the right place. That's how you know you're in the right place, which is outside, which is in nature, which is grounding, which is A through zinc, which is the breathing, which is knowing yourself, which is the meditating, which is everything in the guide, every step laid out. When you fully inhabit the guide, like all you have is insurmountable bliss and joy, and you just throw up every second. You guys have never seen me depressed. I've been like very direct sometimes. I'm like focused, but I'm always like the most joyous person in the room. Why? It's not by design. I have every reason to be sad. No parents, almost drowned by the only person I trust, the older person, touched in an inappropriate way as a child, blah, 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 all this other stuff. It's like, dude, I have every reason to be sad and depressed, but I have this overwhelming, insurmountable joy. Where's it coming from? It's coming from occupying the space with life. And as life flows through me, it bubbles out throughout me. And that's what the effects are: joy, happiness, peace, love, abundance, positivity, blessings, opulence. Oh, God, it feels so good. So yeah, that's what depression, that's the thing of, it's not bad. It's not something to counter or fight. It's to let you know where you are. Just leave. Well, how do I do that? Just go outside. The first step is go outside, get sun on as much skin as possible. Touch your feet in the grass. If you start to burn, get out of the sun. If it's too intense, don't be in the sun too long. Spend 2 minutes in the sun, go in the shade, still be outside. Just do the deep breathing we mentioned in the guide. Vitamin A through mineral zinc. You have a chemistry imbalance inside of you from the compounds, from the minerals and stuff like that. Get them all. Your body will start to regulate. So easy. Actually, there was a person who came to the guide because they were on antidepressants, because they were so depressed. We just put their testimony up on YouTube. You should go check it out. Patrick, he was on antidepressants for years. Never truly helped him. He got on the guide. He stopped taking it. He got off the medication, and he hasn't been on it since. And he's been in the guide for like 2 years. It's the best he's ever felt. He's like, dude, I'm happy all the time. It's like a whole new world. Didn't have to take anything or counter anything or fight depression. He's had to align himself in the right bandwidth and in the right. He had to occupy the right space. And now he's like, bro, I am the antidepressant because I'm life itself. It's just confirming what position, what state you're in.
So Tobias from TT said, bro, how do I stop feeling like I always got to be doing something? I can't sit still for 10 minutes.
I can tell you, do you want me to tell you directly, or do you want me to sugarcoat it? You want me to breastfeed you? Or do you want me to daddy you, like, hey son, grow up. Let me know. All right, next.
Armit asks, what changes did you see in your body in all these years? Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, everything, bro. No more skin pigmentation. No more acne. No more balding. My eyes change colors. My teeth are whiter. My muscles are more defined. I have more energy. My skin radiates. My dong got longer. That's crazy, huh? My butt got bigger. That's funny as well. I sleep deeper. I have more intense dreams. I am more tapped into the psionic realm. I can like have bouts of precognition, like a lot, like everything you can imagine. My nose got skinnier. I have like a more skinnier, pointy nose. I used to have a big old plump nose. Now I have a skinny nose.
Also, Tobias says directly laughy face.
Directly from Tobias. Tobias, you hate yourself. That's why you're not seeming like you always have to do something. You just don't want to sit with yourself because you don't like you. This is why I suggest the self-love decrees in the beginning of the guide. It's like one of the first things I actually like suggest you do as far as the methods. Because you hate yourself, you're running from you. You're not feeling like you have to go do something. You just don't want to spend time with you because you don't like you. And you do anything you can to get away from you. That's why you keep yourself occupied. It's so easy when I could be direct. I wish I could be more direct.
And then Mila from TT also asks, what do you drink in a day and how often do you sun gaze?
Man, well, I love you. How often do I drink in the day? As much as I want.
Or what do you drink?
Oh, what do I drink in a day? Blood, coffee, udder juice, lemon juice too. I know I have a nose one here.
You want me to find it?
No, I want to find it. And then how often do I sun gaze? That's an assumption that I sun gaze. I don't sun gaze. I think sun gazing is dumb. It's one of the dumbest things ever. All right, here's my nose before and after. You guys are going to flip out about this. I think sun gazing is like literally the most moronic thing you can do because of the way it's set up. I'm not against sun gazing, but I'm against the way it's placed. I think it's dumb. So here's my nose before and after. So this is my nose before, and this is my nose now. And I have not had rhinoplasty. I do not believe in plastic surgery. Man, how do I do this without it? You guys can see it. There we go. There's my nose before. There's my nose now. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
That's. I'm telling you, man. What changes happen in your body? Everything, bro. My eye color.
See, your skin is more oily before.
Oh, my skin was super oily. On my nose before, it's like I got a nose job. I have not. I do not believe in plastic surgery. I do not think anybody should get plastic surgery, but that's what happened to my nose. Okay, but yeah, so sun gazing is the most silly thing ever because you just being outside literally is, you being able to see is sun gazing. As long as it's day, you're sun gazing. All the light that's coming to your eyes is directly from the sun. And anything you see is a reflection of that light from the sun. So just opening your eyes outside is sun gazing. People dismiss that. They're like, no, I gotta look directly into the sun. It's so like, bro, if you've been outside the entire day, that's all you've taken in is sun. It's so silly. That's literally what you're seeing when you look outside is sun. You know, go outside, don't sun gaze through a window, like I mentioned in the guide, but you don't have to look directly at the sun. Most likely your retinas aren't even strong enough to take in that intensity of light. It's going to burn them anyways. Why be so intense with it? Why not just go outside and open your eyes? It's just as much because that's all you're seeing, especially if you're seeing the sky. Like if the sun's here and I'm looking in this area and I can't directly see the sun, I'm still taking in intense amounts of sun rays, solar rays, intensely. So if I was to turn my eyes here, most of you guys aren't even stable enough to where you wouldn't be burned by the sun. Then let's look at it with your eyes. If the sun can burn your skin, it could definitely burn your eyes. Your eyes are more susceptible. They're more sensitive than your skin. Your skin, you can hit and do all this other stuff. You can't do that to your eye. You'll mess it up. Your eyes are sensitive. There's no reason to do this. It's the fasting, gimmick. Sun gazing, gimmick. Vegan, gimmick. Carnivore, gimmick. It's just another title for you to do some trend, something so you feel special and important. The only thing you should gaze into is your own eyes in the mirror and tell yourself you're sorry for all the crap you put yourself through. That's the only gazing you should be doing directly. Besides that, you just go outside, open your eyes. That is sun gazing, because everything you're seeing is literally the sunlight. That's how you're seeing. You can see that tree because the sunlight is bouncing off of it to show you it. That's the only reason you see anything. So literally everything you're seeing is the sun. That's the only thing you're seeing, in the daytime at least. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I know it does, but I hope it makes sense to you. So to look at the sun, so to assume I sun gaze, no, I don't sun gaze. That's why I'm saying people put these things, oh, Mikey's a vegan. Mikey, how often do you sun gaze? Assuming that I do it, I don't sun gaze. I think it's stupid. Well, what about your kundalinis? I think that's stupid too. Oh, Reiki? Not necessary. Why would I need Reiki if I wasn't damaged in the first place? Oh, we're playing 5D chess. And even if I don't damage myself, I don't have to get Reiki'd up. Yeah, how about we just don't damage us? Let's just like think beyond all these spiritual terms and things like, oh, I got to sun gaze and do my kundalini. I got to open up my chakra. Yeah, but bro, I saw your bank account, man. You should open up a checking account. You know, like there's other things you'd open up besides your chakra, bro. If you're really influential in this reality. I'm not saying money is the end all be all, but it's a great indicator of where a person's position. If you can't even pay your rent, like, you got bigger things to do than stare the sun in the eyes. I'm not talking about her on TT, but I was saying, like, a lot of these things are so silly.
100%, bro. So true.
I'm just being based AF. I'm not the spiritual guru, hippy dippy teacher guy. I'm not a gym bro. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a this is going to be a video. This should be the intro to it. I'm not a gym bro. I'm not an alpha. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a carnivore. I'm not a kundalini or a Reiki person. I'm not opening up chakras. I don't believe in 5D. All right, I'll say it one more time. I'm not a gym bro. I'm not a vegan. I'm not an alpha. I'm not a carnivore. I'm not a kundalini or a Reiki or a prana or a breatharian or a fruit. All those things are so low. The moment you named it, you've already lowered your position. I just am. Why would I have to look at the sun? It's literally lighting up everything. People put these titles on themselves because they are not important to themselves. I'm so important to myself, I would never give myself a title. That would lower the quality of what breatharian. Wouldn't be so low as to be I'm not hating on the breatharian. I'm saying when I have a title, when you take a title, you lower yourself. That's the operation at what you work at. I just am. I am that I am. I just am. And because I am that, it gives me agency to move freely through reality. Now I have to bind myself to breatharianism or fruitarian. Because guess what? What if the fruitarian person starts developing autoimmune disorders? Then they lose their status as a fruitarian if they go back to eating meat. Well, what happened, bro? I thought you were a fruitarian. Oh, well. Now they like either sunken costs and they start going down with the ship, or they have to like admit that they were wrong, and there's all this other stuff. Just be. If I want to eat fruit, I'll eat fruit. If I don't want to eat fruit, I won't eat fruit. But I'm not a fruitarian just because I eat fruit. I'm not a carnivore just because I eat meat. I'm not a vegan just because I eat things that aren't animals. People are so desperate to latch on to an identity because they have no identity within themselves. They need the label and the name to have significance. Release yourself from significance. It doesn't matter if you're significant. I don't care. I'm not here to impress people. I'm not even here to impress myself. I'm just living. If my butt itches, I'll scratch it. If I feel like taking a poop, I'll go to the bathroom. If I feel like eating, I'll eat. I just am. I'm not a poop-tarian because I poop. I definitely wouldn't drink my urine. People in my DMs, I'm gonna end with this before we go to the next comment or question. People are so, I love the world, but our biggest problem in the world is our insecurity. People are so desperate to tell me their stack to get validation from me, as if I cared. But I can see it's just their insecurity. Hey, Mikey, I'm on a 3-day fast right now, and I've been a fruitarian for the past 3 months now, and I'm doing urine therapy, and I've been doing it 5 days a week, every single week since last July. Is there a question? Yeah, man, what do you think about that? Okay, well, I think that you're seriously seeking out validation that you should be giving to yourself. If you're doing these things just to go out and try to seek validation, it most likely is rooted in insecurity. I don't need to drink my own piss to try to be healthy, bro. My body knows what's up. If it doesn't want it, it's going to leak it out. I don't eat my boogers. Well, here's some snot. Snot therapy. That's moronic. You don't reconsume things that exit your body. Your body's excreting them for a reason. Crap therapy. Oh, there's a little bit of crap that came out. This is my crap. Oh, that's so gross, bro. Oh, I got a pee in the jar here. Let me store it. Oh, look at I got more muscles. Why do you want more? This is so silly, guys. You guys are so silly. I love you all, okay? But the extremity of an identity is the downfall of your actual position. When you claim yourself to be the vegan, when you claim yourself to be the urine there, when you're, hey, here's my stack. I only eat liver. I only do this. I only drink blood. None of it matters. Be Omni-Man, not from Invincible, but be the everything man. Let's do it. Let's do it all.
Rue had a laughy face and said snot therapy is going to be a thing now.
It probably is, man. I shouldn't have said that, man. Because usually whenever I say this thing, then I start seeing people doing it. You know, here's a booger treatment. I am going to be real though. I do believe that, you know, you can trade fecal matter with a person. So like, let's say that, you know, you have a very athletic person trading fecal matter with a non-healthy vital person. It can increase their vitality. But for you to eat your own crap, you to eat your own boogers, stupid. You know, Brian Johnson with a blood transfusion of his son going into him. That actually, I wouldn't do that personally. I would see why is my blood degrading versus needing the blood of my child. But nonetheless, it works. It definitely works. Fecal matter transplants, blood transfusions from like younger people, stuff like that. The higher way would be like, well, why am I degrading? But a way that does work is to get that transfusion. It only buys you some time until you actually find out what's going on with yourself, but you should go after the higher thing. But nonetheless, there is an effect. You could probably smoke cigarettes and suppress your appetite, because that's an effect too. Everything has an effect, but just because it's effective doesn't mean it's optimal. I could smoke cigarettes to probably lower my appetite and lose some weight, but that would be moronic as well. So all that to say, DNA transfusion, right? This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. You guys want to know a secret of how I got my hair to grow back? You think I should say this? I'm going to say it. And then hopefully I can say this in a way that keeps me in good standings on the social algorithm. I found beautiful women who had the thickest hair I could possibly find in South America. And I would be intimate with them during their menstrual cycle. And I would leave it on me until however long, until I took a shower, hours. Or next day, if I were taking a shower that day, I'd leave on me all night. And I had intimate relations with women who had super thick hair. I mean, talking about like the women in South America have very incredibly thick hair. And some of the Asian women too, you know, I don't care about ethnicity. It doesn't matter who you are. It can be Asian, African, Europe. I don't care. I've been with every type of girl. I have no preference or bias. I love them all. They're all awesome.
Oh my God, people are going to do this now.
Yeah, let them do that. I'm cool with that. Like the fecal transplant and stuff like that. Here we go. And guess what? My hair has grown back. My hair has filled it. It worked. I don't use minoxidil. I don't use a derma roller. I have used derma rollers before and stuff like that, but I don't use a derma roller. I don't put anything on my scalp. There's no treatment. And my hair grew back. Worked. So I'm going to leave it there.
I'm sure the saliva exchange also has something to do with it.
Well, I don't want to go too crazy into this.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys some stuff, but because I have no boundaries. We can talk about anything. We can talk about fecal transplant, snot therapy. I don't care. The person who can't embrace everything is limited. If you can't embrace that people eat animals, or genocide happens, or tigers eat deer, like, you're just denying reality, and that's a delusion. It happens. If you can't talk about it, That's where the issue is, mainly inside the person. I actually was on X the other day, and I'm a guy who says this. I think the light is the deceiver. We're going into like metaphysical stuff now, right?
Here we go.
I know we're going deep. Okay.
This is so good though.
I always can't. I'm not going to share everything. I can't share everything because, like, you know, this is some of the stuff is like X rated, so I couldn't share it on these apps. But I do in my Discord community. So if you want, you know, the deeper of all this stuff, go there to the Discord community. If you sign up for the annual membership for the Discord community, you get the guide for free, the meal plan for free. You have community accountability. You're in there for a year. I have training videos, and you hear non-censored insights from myself. And I'm telling you, those things are revolutionary. They will change your life forever. Just hearing this, it activates certain things inside of you. But anyway, I was on, I believe light is the deceiver, because you can modulate light to make it look like something. You can put like holograms up and light shows, or like put this thing on it. You can, you know, you see it in a different light. Light's the deceiver. Darkness, I believe, is the truth, because darkness is always what it is. It never changes. It never shifts itself. It's never something that it's not. It's perpetual. It doesn't need anything to exist. It is itself. It's the most consistent thing that there is. Everybody knows of it. But light can be from a LED source, or, you know, this, all this stuff. It could be, you know, Lucifer is like the light bearer, like the angel of light. Like light to me is the deceiver. And I've seen that throughout my life. I'm like, oh, it's actually, I cohabitate with light. Obviously, we're using light so you can see me and reflect and all that other stuff. But like gym people, right? They can look more ripped if they get the right lighting. If they get like, if I get the lighting right overhead, you can really see my abs, right? Light's a deceiver. It's the deceiver. But then you get them in flat light, they look bloated, their stomachs like that. What happened, bro? It's lighting. Lighting is a deceiver. It is the deceiver. So anyway, I've been saying this for some time, mainly on my personal Facebook. On my personal Facebook, I go all out. So if you're not following me there already, make sure to follow me there. You can find my personal Facebook in my broadcast channel on IG. So if you go to my IG, I tag my personal Facebook there, and you can go, and I make posts with all the women I've been with. I make posts about my past, my dad, everything. Like I'm the most fulfilling thing in life is to be authentic and real and hold nothing back. I don't want to not tell you about the people I've been with or this or that. To me, that's suppression. I have to say, I had a girl, a lover. She was like very not, she was secretive, but she was more like she wasn't public with her life. So I didn't post her too much because she's not about that life. She's like secret. She has no photos on her IG and stuff like that. So she was like, and that to me was like, it was like killing me. This is because I'm like public. I want to tell everybody. I'm like, I'm like the most like expressive guy. So like that was like really hitting me, you know? So Facebook is where I post all that stuff. Instagram, it's like a business. Hey, look at this. I haven't worked out in 6 years. Ha ha ha. Look at me. Hey, here's a clip from a podcast I was on. Hey, here's a clip from a live. So it's like that. TikTok, I've almost given up on TikTok because I just use it for lives now, because I have more followers on TikTok than I did on IG, and I would get like 200 views. IG, a lot of my posts go to 200,000, 300,000, a million, and I had less followers on IG than I do TikTok. So like TikTok, I use it as a streaming platform just to get the content from. That's about it. But anyway, go on my Facebook and go check out all the stuff on there. I talk about the light being the deceiver. I really go in like on the fundamentals that I actually truly believe, because it's, to me, that's my place. I can just post freely. I need an outlet to post. So anyway, I believe light's the deceiver. I've been saying this for some time on Facebook, and then I was scrolling through X and I saw Andrew Tate talking about Statue of Liberty, and somebody in the comment section says, "Yes, hail Lucifer, guide us with your light." So I took a screenshot of that and I said, "Look, guys, Lucifer, the light bearer, guide us with your light. The light's the deceiver." Because Andrew Tate, I think Clavicle, was in the screenshot, a person was like, "Why is Andrew Tate there? These red pill guys." And I'm like, dude, I highlight the comment. Like, look at the comment. I'm talking about light being the deceiver. And the person's like, "I can't accept this. I can't even accept it with this red pill." Not even on topic, not even about the focus. Because the person was so offended in their biases, they couldn't even grasp the the topic that I was actually talking about, because a person's face was, it has nothing to do with Andrew Tate. I don't care about Andrew Tate. Let him do his thing. I don't care. I don't know the person. I don't know if he's good. I don't know the dude. I don't know Clavicle. I don't make judgments about people I don't know. That's stupid. I've never met him. I'm not an internet dummy where I'm like, well, let me give my opinion. I think the most moronic thing is IMO. Who cares? Trying to give your opinion is just you feeling insecure about yourself. I don't give my opinion unless people ask. That's why I'm here live with you guys. If you ask something, I'll share it. But if you don't ask, I'm not going to say it. I don't care. I don't need my opinion validated or even out in the public. I don't care. I'll express myself. That's as far as I go. But anyway, so Andrew Tate and Clavicle were in New York talking about the Statue of Liberty. Someone's like, yes, all hell, Lucifer, guide us with your light. Guide us this world with your light. And I'm like, look, Lucifer is the light bearer. And because Andrew Tate was in the screenshot, a person couldn't even comprehend what the purpose of the message was because they were so offended. Your own offense is your biasness, is your limitation. If you're triggered, if you're offended, if you're like, okay, how dare they eat plants, vegans, huh? I'm not even offended at urine therapy people or people who, I don't care. Because the moment you're offended, you block yourself from the access point that you could have expanded into. The way to navigate through this life is to have no attachment. Who cares? Let them do what they do. But and this is where the power's at. Well, Michael, won't people go and be bad if we don't stop them? Well, they're already bad because you haven't fulfilled your position. That's why there's so much bad in the world, is because you're not good. If you would just be good, people would be so busy looking and receiving the goodness, they wouldn't have time to do bad. They wouldn't want to do bad. Be the example. Are you going to heal everything in one day? Of course not. But if you're not in your position of being the light itself or the influence, I still think light is very evil. And it's evil. I don't believe in good or bad. I don't believe in good or evil. But I believe that light is the deceiver. It's not what it seems to be. That's it. I don't think even, this is crazy. I don't believe in good or bad. I would even say deception is evil. I think deception is deception. It's just not what's actual. Me, I believe in actuality. What is? That's how I got these results. I don't care to be vegan. I don't care to be carnivore. Dude, what is? How do I feel? What's going on? What am I experiencing? How's my hair? How's my teeth? What's actual? I'm all about actuality. That's all I really care about. Actual results. Cognitively, physically, everything else. Energetically, everything else. But if you have any biases towards certain things, it blocks you off from that. And you won't even be able to receive like that person with a message. Because Andrew Tate was in the photo. Like, I don't care about Andrew Tate, bro. It's not even about Andrew Tate. It's about freaking Lucifer. You're so offended about Andrew Tate that you can't even see how Lucifer's deceiving. That is the deception. Anyway, all right, next. I know that was wild. That was a whole trip, but yeah. I want to go deeper, but I don't think that I should now. I think we should go back to like surface level stuff.
So do you want me to read any of the comments?
Hey, if you said a comment before, comment it back down again and Sasha will read it. If you see something that's like really stands out, go ahead. But if you have a question, just like kind of like bring it back down in the comments.
Okay, cool.
I haven't breathed too much today.
Which actually, scrolling back up, there were some questions that weren't answered. So I don't know if they're still here, but Gabriel Lifestyle asked, what do you recommend for flu?
Well, the flu is the evidence you're dying. Stop dying. I don't recommend to try to compensate when you have the flu. I recommend, in a sense, that you acknowledge, oh snap, I'm not even strong enough to not have the flu. You don't do, okay, well, I have the flu here. Let me take some medicine to try to not. No. Why were you so weak that you had the flu? That's what you acknowledge. And whenever you see like, oh snap, yeah, I was staying up late the past week. Yeah, I was drinking alcohol the other day. Yeah, I was eating processed food. Well, those things were like depleting me. The best method is prevention. Don't try to like combat it when you have it. Acknowledge that you brought yourself there. And if you acknowledge that and you take on the responsibility of it, you'll stop ending up in that position. So easy. You can only be sick if you allowed yourself because you did something prior. If you're cognitively, if you're like over the age of 7, if you're under the age of 7, then like you are a product of your environment. Parents have a big factor in that. This is why I see, I was out here in the city the other day, and we there was a kid I think Leia went to get a soccer ball. So I was, she was going and getting the soccer ball. I was parked. I was like hanging out by the car, getting sun outside. So I was outside with my shirt off, hanging out by the car as they're in the store getting a soccer ball. And a kid walks up to me, and that kid just had snot all over. No, we were picking up the packages. That's what it was. Okay, it doesn't really matter. But either way, there was a kid with a bunch of snot coming out of its nose. Well, what is snot? Snot is mucus. What does mucus do? It's sticky. What does it stick to? It grabs pollutants and toxins, and it binds to it so it can drain it out of you. That's the whole purpose of mucus, is to become a sticky source to get pathogens and toxins and things like that, so they don't make its way deeper into your system. Kids have runny noses when there's toxins around. That's the canary in the cave, the kid. If the kid has a snotty nose, that's your sign, like, yo, there's a bunch of toxins around you, even for the adult. You may have such a great immune system that you don't get the runny nose, but nonetheless, that kid is more sensitive. That snot is indicating, like, yo, there's a bunch of toxins in the air, dude. That's what snot does, is why it's producing snot. It's the canary. It's trying to tell you, you got to be aware of this stuff. All right, what else?
Tariq Khan asked, were you on roids in the past? It looks like you were based on your traps.
Funny story. I've been overweight all my life. I've never been on roids, okay? When I lost a bunch of weight from sophomore year to freshman year to sophomore year, I lost like 60 pounds in a month. I lost weight like big, like fast over summer break. And my principal saw that. My principal actually, it's kind of weird, but I get what he was doing. I don't think it was like a bad thing. But he put his hand in my shirt and started like rubbing my back to feel if I had any pimples on my back, to see if I was taking steroids. So even at the age of 15, I think 14, 15, even my principal thought I was on steroids. I've never taken steroids. I just have traps. People have traps. Some people have traps. Some people don't. The reason I have traps is this. I've always worked out my traps. Not in the gym. In the gym, I've never worked out my traps. I'm not saying absolute never, but like I'd rarely work out my traps because I already had traps. But because I was so insecure about my chest, I had gynecomastia from the age of 9. I developed it. I would wear huge baggy shirts and I would walk around like this with my shoulders hunched, so it wouldn't lay against my chest, because if I stood up straight, it looked like I had cones coming out on my chest at the age of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, until I really like lost the weight. Even after that, I still kind of had the gynecomastia, but it wasn't as bad as from like 9 to like 13, 14-ish. Because of the gynecomastia, it affected my entire life. It affected the way of my posture, my confidence, everything else. I would literally walk to let my shirt hang like this so the chest wouldn't poke out through the shirt. So all that slouching really built like a back, like a hunchback for me, which developed my traps a lot. They were always engaged, but it also disengaged my lower core, because I was always slouched. So I ended up creating a lot of belly fat here and like loose skin because I never engaged this part. And I had like stomach issues, passing issues, stuff like that. Everything's correlated. So gynecomastia affected my back, affected my traps, affected my lower abs. Now people see me like, dude, what's up with your like belly button? It looks so weird. Well, it's all the years of like, I'm talking about years, right? 9, I was embarrassed of it, but not really, because I was still growing. Then 10 for sure, 11 for sure, 12 was like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 still a little bit, 16 not as much. I started being like more proud of myself. So at least for 7 years of my life, like drastically, right? There's a leap year and stuff like that, but whatever. 365 times 7 is 2,555, right? So for 2,555 days consecutively, I did this. So I'd work out my traps every single day because I was embarrassed of my chest. That's why you never see me with shirts and stuff like that, because now I'm proud. Screw you. I don't even care, dude. I'm gonna put myself out there, my chest out there. Oh, you got it. I'm like, I'm proud of myself. Because before I was so ashamed and embarrassed of myself that I literally developed a hunchback, poor posture, like neck fat, all this other stuff, to let the shirt droop so my chest wouldn't do like that. So weird. That's why my traps are developed. But no steroids. Definitely not steroids. Steroids are anything unnatural is stupid to me. It's not even just steroids. Even supplements are dumb. creatine, monohydrate, protein, whey protein, protein isolates, casein. Like it is so insecure. Be yourself, be natural, be alive, and you can get the best body because then you can extend your life. You're not taking in all this created compounds that's not even naturally found on Earth. This is ridiculous. All right, next.
Nabil from TT says, "Yo, Mikey, I missed you. What's the most effective way for lymphatic drainage?"
The most effective way for lymphatic drainage is to not block your lymphatic system with toxins in the first place. Then you won't have to drain them. The best method is prevention. Don't even do it in the first place. So find what blocks and clutters your lymphatic tracts, and then, you won't have to drain it. It will drain automatically as you live through life and you walk and you move. This is engaging my lymphatic system. If I just do this, and me talking is engaging my lymphatic system. Me doing this little thing right here is like squeezing my butt. I don't have to pee later, and I don't have to poop, and then it'll come out. But if you don't put crap inside of you that even clogs up your system in the first place, you want to drain it. I mean, this is common sense. Like always go for prevention, man. Like from the very top, let's go to the highest thing. That's why I'm always about the highest way, the best. What's the best? What's the highest? I could get surgery. I could take pills. I could do all this other stuff. Or I could just prevent it in the first place and not do the crap that damages me. That's a better method. A lot safer too. And I save a lot of money and a lot of time. And I feel great through the whole process. All right, what else? We'll start wrapping it up soon. So if you guys have any questions, drop them down below. And I have really appreciated my time with all y'all. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed this time with you. So,
Rue asks, "Can you explain the importance of acknowledging things as they are?" You talked about it a lot.
Man, I love you, Rue. That's a great question. So living in actuality versus a delusion. Man, what an expansive topic. This is like, even my head going into this, like, it's engaged like. All right, 1 second. Lele, is there any ginger juice? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. Can you maybe bring some tea then? Okay. All right. Is there any ginger? Yeah. Do you have the juicer out? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right. Man. So the only reason you're here in reality, okay, we're going to get like extremely metaphysical and intangible, bringing into the tangible. So this might be speaking over a lot of your heads, okay? It's okay. Take notes on this and study this. People get offended when I speak over their heads, but they wouldn't get offended if a first grader went to a college course and the first grader didn't understand it. How dare that professor speak over my kid? They should make it simple so my first grader should understand it. No, dummy, that's called higher knowledge. Higher knowledge doesn't come down so a kindergarten can understand it. They have to build their way up. Okay? In the same way, if you take notes and you pay attention, you're going to comprehend things at a greater rate. By default, that's called life. That's called what it is. There are things I don't understand, but I'm not mad when I don't understand it. I see my own limitations in my coherence, and I take that on to expand my consciousness so I will have the ability to understand later. Okay? It's a reference point to tell me where I'm at coherently. So just know that. I'm about to say some things. It's going to go over some people's heads. It's totally fine. NBD, no big deal. It's all cool, bro. Okay? So your best bet is to take some notes. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube later, so go back and watch this part. You can even clip it up and just like watch it on loop. I always speak in multi-dimensional ways to where every time you listen to it, you're probably going to get something new every single time. That's why I tell people in my Discord, like, hey, listen to these messages multiple times, because you can listen to it 5 different times and you're going to hear things, or it's going to comprehend things that you didn't perceive or receive before. Okay? So Rue's like, hey, like the importance of seeing what's actual, or living what's actuality in the field of that. You are a conscious being. Okay? That's what you are. You're not black, you're not white, you're not male, you're not female, none of that crap matters. It's stupid, okay? It's just luck of the draw. You came out with a ding dong or a hoo hoo. Who cares? But what you are, before all those things, I'm American, I'm European, I'm Bruce from Australia. I love Australians. Dude. Australians are some of the best people in the world. I still love being American, but man, I've never been to Australia I don't like, so I'm just gonna throw that out there. With that being stated, you are first a conscious being. And as a conscious being, your only purpose is to be conscious. What does that even mean? That sounds so meta. I'm a conscious being with my purpose to be conscious. It means to actualize and correctly interpret what you're experiencing through every sense that you have. Did they actually say that? I have a lot of people who come to me, it's like, Mike, you told me that we should fast. I'm like, did I actually say that? They're like, yeah. Can you show me the video? And the video says, look, I used to fast back in the day, but I no longer fast now. And I'm not even fasting now. I don't recommend for you to fast. And they're like, oh, I misheard you. People will be adamant about what they believe I said until I hold them up to it. I'm like, yo, did I really say that? I'll question, did I really say that? Because it's being filtered through their biases. To where now they're living in a delusion because that's not actuality. It's not what was actually said. I'm using myself as an example. It could be anything. It could be your husband, your wife. Did they actually say that? Did they actually do that? Or is it you putting your biases on it? Because everything I say is recorded. It's very easy to pull this stuff back up. But what about your spouse or your partner who everything's not being recorded with? Most likely there's biases and preferences that you're putting on that maybe wasn't even stated or said. Well, as a conscious being, every time you live in delusion, you have your life force drained from you and siphoned from you. Because the only thing that reciprocates life is the actuality of life itself. So if it didn't happen, to give energy into something that didn't happen is the depletion of your life force, of your vitality. So you're looking through life to see what's actual. What am I believing through social conditioning, through programming, or just through self-biases? Oh, thank you so much, Lay. I love you too. You're amazing. This gives me a little break from going in on this because this topic's so deep. If you don't live in what's actual, you'll be extremely ineffective. Man, how come I'm not losing the weight? How come I'm not getting more money? How come they don't love me? How come I can't find a partner? Your effects are based on your ability. You good? Go ahead, yeah. Do you want the stand too?
Sure.
So it's whatever. Your effect and your effectiveness in reality is completely based on your ability to perceive what's actual. If something's not there, then you can't truly engage with it. Meaning this, if I said there's a pink elephant in the room, right? Look, guys, there's a pink elephant. You're like, what are you talking about? There's no pink elephant here. Yeah, it's right here. And I start pointing to something that's not really there, I can't have an effect with it. I can't hop on it. I can't ride it. I can't use it because it's not there. It's imaginary. Anything that's imaginary, for the most part, leaves you ineffective. If it's fictitious, if it's not real. So the result and the outcome of your life is based on how engaged you are with what's actual. When you stop engaging with what's actual, you become ineffective. You'll work your butt off. You'll do all these things, but you'll get nowhere. You might even see some results because movement creates, like, momentum creates magnetism. So like you just moving does something, but how effective was it? How much did you have to put out to create anything? If I move a pinky, I'm stronger than if I have to move my whole body. If it takes my whole body to move something, that thing is stronger than that amount of force I put out. Versus if I could move my pinky, I'm stronger than it at that level and that rate. The more you embrace what's actual in reality will correlate to your effectiveness within it and give you the results by default. That's why I never go after results. I'm probably speaking over your head with this part right here. I never go after bigger muscles. I don't care. Yes, it's great to have bigger muscles. Yes, I feel sexy in my body. I feel great, right? But if I lost them, okay. If I gain them, okay. I'm never focused on the result or the outcome. I'm focused on what's actually in my life and what's actually happening. And as I engage with that, the results come automatically. Wealth, success, love, relationships, travel, freedom, all those other stuff. The whole purpose of you being here and being conscious is to see what's actual. And the evidence of it is the results that you're experiencing. Can you not lose the weight? Can you not gain the muscles? Can you not do this? Don't go try to gain muscles. Don't go try to lose weight. But see what is correlating in your life that's not actual. It's a made up story that's fictitious. Because anytime you live in delusion, you die in delusion. Anytime you embrace actuality, your life is extended. So you want to make sure that everything that you're actually saying, hearing, experiencing is actual within yourself, not confirming or disregarding the other person. Like me, for example, right? You guys might say, yeah, but Mikey, are you actually not eating for 200 plus days? It doesn't matter what I'm doing. I don't care. It's not even my point. Are you actually doing what you need to do? Are you actually being who you need to be? Are you actually seeing what's right in front of you? What's actual on that point is Mikey did say this and he did not say that. That's actual. Whether I'm doing it or not, I actually said this. I did not say that. I know that this is so slippery, but if you start living in anything that's not actual, you'll convince yourself of your own delusion and it will work against you. You'll become more angry, irritable. You'll become more volatile and unstable because you're building a house or a reality upon straws. It's going to be blown over with the wind. But if you build your life on what's actual, it's a solid foundation, like a mountain, stone foundation, and then you can build as high as you want upon it. You can only build on what's actual. So if you have a lot of like loose terms, esoteric terms, they're just loose, they have no actual definition, then your life will be ineffective and you'll just be in a spiral, being blown and tossed by every emotion and everything. 2026 is going to be my year. Yeah, I'll finally make it. Yeah, I'll finally be rich. Yeah, I'll finally have all this stuff. Why didn't you have it last year? I thought you said last year it was going to be your year. Yeah, but I learned a lot of things. I grew and all this other stuff. This is self-psychosis. They're pumping themselves up with validation or confirmation to stay in the state that they're in, perpetuating it. The evidence that you didn't make it in 2025 should be revealing to you that something was not acknowledged because there was no actual effect in your life. If there's no actual effect in your life, but you continue going down the same pathway, it's showing you its own effectiveness. So to continue doing it is insanity. I'm not saying the only things that we can see are actual. I'm not saying the only things that we can measure are actual, but I'm saying the outcome determines your actuality of engaging and embracing what's actual. And if you don't do that, then your life will be loose, it will be a mess, and you'll fall apart. And to prevent your life from falling apart, you need to start like taking a step back and seeing like what's actually going on here. And when you do that, that's the fulfillment of your consciousness. When you actually fulfill why your consciousness is here on this realm, then you can keep your consciousness longer. You can extend your life. But if you can't embrace what's actual, your life will be shortened. So to stay on earth and in this realm longer, you have to fulfill the purpose of your consciousness. And if you don't, you'll be taken out. And the only way to do that is by acknowledging what's actual. Actuality is the only thing. All right, cool. Few more and I'm done. Really great thing. And that's only like the tip of the piece of the snowflake on the iceberg on top of the glacier on top of the mountain. I can go on this subject probably indefinitely because it's all hinged on everything that's attached to it. But nonetheless, that's the intro to this. The only reason you would be healthy is so you can pay more attention. The only reason you'd be in shape is so that you can perceive reality intelligibly and interpret it correctly. The only reason for all this stuff that we're doing is so that we can truly see reality for what it is. Get off the gimmicks. Get off, well, is my kundalini rising and all this other stuff? Bro, that's a bird, okay? That's a dog, okay? That's the sky, okay? That's a cloud. Like perceiving what is. Everything else is like little tag words that we put on to feel certain ways about ourselves and effectiveness of what we're doing when we feel no significance. That's why you never see me bragging on myself of like, okay, I've gone 200 something days, because it doesn't matter. Am I paying attention? Most people will blind themselves just to fast. Yeah, I'm on 7 days, no food. Who cares? How's your cognition? Like what are you actually paying attention to? What are you receiving from it? What's the revelation that you got from it? What are you bringing back? But I've gone 7 days and I feel great. I have clarity in my mind. Okay, but what have you gotten in your mind? I've gotten some great thoughts. Okay, what? They can't even list their thoughts. They don't know, because their glory is the not eating and starving themselves. The only reason to fast, if you were to fast, would be for some conscientious expansion. But if you can't bring something back that's tangible and applicable, then it was all for nothing. Do you get what I'm saying? If you do something and you're not more effective in your perception and your ability, then you actually regressed and you went backwards. Everything that you're doing should be moving you and pressing you forward and moving you into greater ability. What's your ability? What have you gained now that you couldn't do prior? And that's the evidence and that's the effectiveness. All right, cool.
So Chase asked, would you say facing truths in your life is similar engaging with what's actual?
I love you, Chase. On TT or IG? IG. IG, I ching. Well, first off this, Chase, I don't believe in truth. There's no such thing as truth. It doesn't exist. Truth doesn't exist. There's only the point of actuality that you stopped at. Okay, we'll just call that truth, and that's not truth. Well, if you go a little bit deeper in what you call truth, you find out that's actually not true, but it keeps going here. And like, actually, this is true. Yeah, this was true. Like, well, it's bad to murder, right? Or it's bad to kill, right? But if it's an evil overlord dictator who actually taken the life of many and suppressed people and like, killed other people, then maybe it's good, to take that dictator out. Well, so is it good to kill or is it bad to kill? Well, no, not in this condition, not in this stipulation, and you can continue going and you find yourself that there's actually no truth. There's just the moment, what it calls for. What is the moment? How is it being stringed up? So when you just acknowledge what is, you're not acknowledging truth or actualizing truth. You're just seeing what's actually there, because truth usually has a moral code to it. This is truth. This is why so many people are fickle and loose with their truth, saying this is my truth. There's no such thing as my truth. There's no such thing as truth. My truth is the validation of some sort of self-significance within a person so they feel better about themselves because they're not acknowledging themselves. When you acknowledge yourself, you don't need a truth. I have no truth. There's no truth. I have no truth. I don't need truth because I understand there is no truth. And that's actually kept me highly effective in reality because I understand there is no truth. I've kept the lean, shredded body for roughly 5 years. I've kept financial freedom. I've kept myself in good positions. But the moment I get locked into the truth, I succumb to it and it drains my energy source because I'm putting my thing in a concept and I'm not seeing what's actual. There is no truth. Is that the truth? Well, it's actual. But if people want to associate truth with actuality, they need to separate it from morality because it's not, it is what it is. Either that happened or it didn't. Now you can make a choice, and whatever choice you make, the conditions may determine to some people if it was good or bad. But when you don't believe there's any good or bad, it's just conditional on what it is. There are going to be repercussions to it. And what I mean by that, like, yeah, if you go out and you take somebody's life, there's going to be repercussions to it. Was it bad that you did that? No, it's not bad. Even if a person goes out and takes another person's life, was that bad? That was a choice that they did that has heavy repercussions. Now they're imprisoned for life and blah, 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 because they took another life. Should you have done that? Well, if they would have recognized themselves and what's actual, why do I feel like this? They may have not have taken steps towards taking another person's life. And that would have potentially prevented, now that's all theoretical what I'm saying. But when you stop seeing things as truth, you start seeing things for what's actual, you stop doing detrimental actions that could, result in life sentences and all this other stuff. So the person's only doing that because they're not seeing what's actual. When you see what's actual, why would you want to take another person's life anyway? Why would you want that blow in your hands? Why would you do this? But if you're not seeing what's actual, like, I'm just mad, I can get away with it. My truth is I am mad, I am angry, so let me go do. So therefore they live in the delusion, which takes and lives in scarcity, lives in fear, lives in ending of life versus expanding life itself. So you actually want to really disassociate yourself with these types of concepts, truth and this and that. Either the chicken's there or it's not. And in the guide, mainly in the Discord, I show people how to go in and acknowledge these things on themselves, how they feel, what they feel, where it's coming from, why it's even there. I tell people in my Discord, I can't even say this on social media. I cannot say this, but I tell them it's okay to, you know what, like homeless people, crackhead, stuff like that. You know what they do? That thing I just said, if you have a crack in your wall, you know what I'm saying? I tell them, if you want to do that, cool. It doesn't matter. But before you do that, ask yourself why. Where's this coming from? And know, when you know yourself and what you actually are, you come to the point of resolving it within yourself. There's no longer a charge to go and do that action. You don't even want to do the action because you want to do the action. You don't want to get with a prostitute or whatever because of this or that. The attraction, the draw to it is because there's a charge built up that's founded upon something else. And when you can see what that is, you dissolve all those things and then you want nothing. Me, myself, I'm in a position, at least in my own life, where I've seen there's nothing I want. What do I want? More beautiful women, I have them. Bigger houses, this is a 9-level house. Travel around the world, this is my 31st. There's nothing I want. And in not wanting anything, I get everything. But I have to see what's actual. If I start hinging myself on truth, it's conceptual matter, then I start living in the delusion, and then things become unattainable. I strive to try to get it. And it becomes a displacement of my life energy versus just the engagement of it. When I just engage in life, I get everything I want. But if I tell myself these delusional things, it's so hard to get anything. Abs, weight loss, weight gain, muscles, hair back. My hair grew back. That's impossible without hair transplant. My hair filled back in. And it's receding hairline. I have a preceding hairline. It's actually grown forward, which is crazy. But also I'm getting a cone-shaped head. My head's actually growing oblong in the back, which is kind of like an elongated skull, which is kind of weird. But whatever, I'm here. I don't know if y'all saw that, but man, it's getting crazy. But if you attach yourself to some sort of conceptual thing that has no tie or draw to the actuality of reality, but it's conceptual in society, then you give your life force over to this idea, and that's where it ends. You don't get anything reciprocated back, and that's where people die. They die in their concepts. This is why I have you guys hold no banner over your head, vegan, carnivore, breatharian, because you'll die for a concept. The moment you give your life to a name or a title, it takes your energy from you. But if you have no title, no name, no thing, and you keep that charge. Now that I'm 37, I still look like my 19-year-old self. Even though in the middle at 28, I looked very worn down and tired. It's not just good genetics, because there's a reference point that I was destroyed and distraught. But then I regenerated back to my former self because I kept my charge, because I give no energy to a title. I am not that thing. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a carnivore. I'm not a keto person. I'm not, like, none of that stuff matters. I'm aware, I'm conscious, and that's where my energy stays. Sasha just said that Chase said he gets it, but it's kind of going over his head. That's why I'm saying, rewatch this live and take notes. Why would you be able to understand everything at once the moment you first heard it? You didn't do that in school. You didn't go to school your first day and the second day you were in college. You didn't understand the very first day of school or grade school, first grade. You didn't understand everything. And then like the next day you're in college. You went a whole year through first grade, a whole year through second grade, a whole year through third grade. And a lot of tests you didn't even pass. Or if you passed, you didn't get 100%. Some of you didn't even get A's. Some of you didn't even get B's or C's. Why would something like this just be given to you so you can understand it versus you putting out the effort to comprehend it? How do you comprehend? Take notes, recite, look over again. That's how you study for a test. Why would life be different? It's because people are out of school. They're like, oh, I should just know everything right now. That's psychosis. What? I can look out my window, and if I really focus, I'll see something new every single time, another detail. If you put it on yourself that you should have known everything the moment that it was said, then you're living in a delusion and you're stunting your own growth. I know I didn't receive everything the first time. So I'm paying attention intently. And I understand that I can go back and rewatch this and take notes, because I'm I only have so much energy. I'm going to end with this. I only have so much energy in life. So I'm going to make sure that my energy goes to the highest thing possible. I don't want to spend time learning things that won't give me life back. I don't have enough energy for it. I can't spread my energy to just learn everything that's not reciprocating life back to me. Because it takes effort to learn, to understand. It's exhausting sometimes learning. It's fun, it's exciting. Yeah, I get charged from it, but simultaneously there's effort that needs to be applied or I won't understand it. I could test people. If I had a test, a Scantron out, I put the sheets out, I could test people right now. Hey, what did I actually say? Notes down. And if I grade people on what I just said, I know that no one's going to get 100%. If I say, what does Mikey say? A, B, or C, or D? No one's going to get 100%. No one's going to understand everything I just said. Not that you have to understand me or what I just said, but I'm saying that's how life is, period. You're not going to grasp everything. Why would you? That's insanity to think that you would. You're setting yourself up for failure expecting that. You have to clearly, intently listen to everything in life, in reality, what your wife is saying, what your family's saying, what your popping joints are saying, what the crick in the attic is saying. Notice the leak. You can hear it. Notice the squeak in the floor. Notice the shift in the foundation. Notice that knock in your car. Start noticing everything. It takes energy. This is why you can't spend your energy on dumb stuff, because you have a life to live. You have no room for stupidity. Save that energy and apply it towards consciousness so you can pay attention to everything around you so you can hold together reality itself. And that's what this is. And you're not going to get it the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year. I'm still in the guide. And I'm finding new things about me every single day, new abilities, new functions, new features I didn't know. But they didn't come until year 5. They didn't come on year 4 or year 3. So it takes intently engaging in reality in this manner to truly express yourself in the greatest degree. And you're going to have to recite and repeat things so you truly make it fundamental in your life. So what I'm saying is I'm going to post this on YouTube. It's for free. Go watch it again and just hear it, listen to it, take notes, break it down. If you have a question next time I go live, hey, when you said this in the live, what do you mean by this? And then we start talking about deeper matters. Until then, I'll just tell you, okay, hey guys, lose 5 pounds. Don't intake toxins. Don't eat bad stuff. Make sure to breathe. We'll keep talking about baby stuff and distractions like Kundalini or whatever, versus this actualizing what reality is. All right, cool. That helped. Good. Chase, people.
He asked, was it scary when you started?
Hell no, it wasn't scary. It's the most liberating thing in my life. I look like this now. I'm going to do cardio or take supplements or some sort of, I don't got to fast or starve myself. It was freeing. I'm like, I don't have to work out. Oh, thank God. I don't have to keep up with societal standards. Oh my God, thank you for taking that weight off my back. So I can now take that energy and put it into consciousness. It's the best thing I've ever done. Scary? No, it removed my fear. Last thing, I had a person in my Discord community that I just read their message yesterday. They said one of the biggest things they noticed from the guide and living it, they've been living it for over a year now. They said that one of the biggest things that they notice is they're no longer afraid. They no longer harbor fear inside, that they're not just confident, but they just don't have fear. It's not present anymore. This liberates you. This makes you free. This makes you bold. Is there fear in my eyes? There's probably sprinkled fear here and there. Everyone has some fear, right? But man, if you look at where I used to be, you can see like the eyes turned down. I'm like seeking validation. It removes fear from you because you actually know what life is, because you have effect and control in it. The more aware you are, the more control you have. So anyway, all right. I love you guys. Go watch this on YouTube. The channel name is MikeyBreathes, just like on Instagram, MikeyBreathes, just like on TikTok, MikeyBreathes. Breathes, 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 not breeds. And go join my broadcast channel on Instagram. I put a lot of updates on there, links to my other videos, new posting, stuff like that. I have 2 videos on YouTube that Sasha just posted, so go check them there. If you haven't already, get the guide. If you get the annual member to the Discord, which is like the year membership, you get the guide for free, the meal plan for free. There are training videos in there. There's a manifestation guide for free. You get the herbology guide for free. There's community, there's accountability, there's like, companionship, camaraderie, and you get to ask me questions. You get access to, just ask me questions, stuff like that directly, like your questions specifically in relation to the guide. But if you don't want to spend the year price or whatever, you can still get the guide and the bundle pack. And if you don't even want the guide, I have over 1,000 videos that I posted. People are like, hey, if you were really loving to help people, then you wouldn't charge on stuff. That person's telling me they have not watched the 1,000 videos I've given for free. I already made all the information for free. Watch 1,000 videos. It's all there. People just want to complain, but you take action. You're awesome. You understand what's up and you live. Don't get distracted by being a victim. Don't get distracted by thinking about the weak option. What's the highest thing you can think? What's the most powerful thing that you can see? How can you interpret the highest possible thing and go down that route? There's no limit. The only limit is ourselves. So just take steps towards it. I love you guys. If you get the guide, cool. If you don't get the guide, I don't care. I love you, and I will see you next time. Mwah. But definitely join the Discord because that's where the party's at. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.